work, no pleasure. I ain't here to make friends, big stepper. Hey, bad guy, Heath Ledger. Ready for whatever, I'll be front and center. Don't fly too close to the sun, your body chopped up by propellers. Came in arrogant, but left out in the structure. The comparison, y'all know y'all couldn't replicate it. Chilling in the desert, I'm good under pressure.
Stick around with me, hold it down, look at what we found.
This a marathon, not a sprint, let's go 100 miles.
On the ground with me to the clouds, never coming down.
That's the crown on me, wear it proud, show 'em what we found.
Stick around with me, hold it down, look at what we found.
This a marathon, not a sprint, let's go 100 miles.
On the ground with me to the clouds, never coming down.
That's the crown on me, wear it proud. What they was talking about. All work, no pleasure. I ain't here to make friends, big stepper. Hey, bad guy, Heath Ledger. Ready for whatever, I'll be front and center. Quick to sever, however, whoever. Raining from above, we shooting down through your umbrella. Ayy, getting fed up, nothing you could tell us. Snapping every shot I take, just wait till it develops.
Stick around with me, hold it down, look at what we found.
This a marathon, not a sprint, let's go 100 miles.
On the ground with me to the clouds, never coming down.
That's the crown on me, wear it proud, show 'em what we found.
Stick around with me, hold it down, look at what we found.
This a marathon, not a sprint, let's go 100 miles.
On the ground with me to the clouds, never coming down.
That's the crown on me, wear it proud. Up they was talking
Stick
about.
around with me, hold it down, look at what we found. From the ground with me to the clouds, never coming down. Stick around with me, hold it down, look at what we found.
This a marathon, not a sprint, let's go 100 miles.
From the ground with me to the clouds, never coming down.
That's the crown on me, wear it proud. What they was talking about.
What up, Joe? What up, Doe? What up, Doe? What's going on, Biz Nation? We are back, man. Listen, it's been a long week, and some of y'all just got paid. Friday night, body jumping, feeling right. Some of y'all feeling right now. You know, you feel a little different when you got that money in your pocket. When you got that bread in your pocket, man, you feel a little different. You feel me? You know, when you feel like you got your stuff restored, you know what I'm saying? You're feeling refilled. You feel me? This is definitely a happy Friday for everyone. It's been a long week. Some of y'all been working all week. Some of y'all been just, working hard, keeping up with the case at the same time. The YSL trial today was crazy. I was so heated today, but we're gonna do that another time. However, I'm so happy that everybody's in the building. I miss y'all, man. I miss y'all coming in. Positive masculinity said, looking forward to having the fun today. I appreciate you. Let's go to the chat real quick. FFS in the building saying, yo, I appreciate you, dog. Appreciate you. Steph JK in the building said, hit the like on our way in, fam. It's almost Biz Nation o'clock. Biz Nation o'clock. All right, I got you. Okay, Kristen, what's up, though? What up, though? I appreciate you for sure. We got CBBJ Candace in the building saying good evening. I appreciate your presence. I definitely appreciate your presence. We got Treese Talks. Or is it Treacey Talks? I'm sorry. I hope I don't mispronounce that. But happy Friday to you. All right. My man, Kissing Pink in the building, KP in the building. Can I call you KP? If you don't mind if I call you KP, man, in the building. Saying we in here. We in chair. You know what I'm saying? Then we got the mod of all mods. Hey, Biz Nation. Hey, Miss Park. No, I hope everyone is having a great day. That's what Chill said in the building. Hey, speaking of this, man, I want to stop real quick and announce something real quick. Chill and I, we do have a podcast. It's called Intimate Insights Roadmap for Relationships. Let me go ahead and put the thumb art up here in a minute. Where the thumb are at? Here we go. Okay, Kablowski. All right. So right there is our podcast, and we just talk about relationships from a different angle. You know what I'm saying? We have different perspectives, you know what I'm saying? And we also keep it a bean. So if you enjoy, podcasts or talking, listen to podcasts, things like that on your way to work, whatever the case may be, go ahead and hit Intimate Insights, Roadmap for Relationships. We on Apple, we on Spotify, and we on iHeartRadio. All right. So go ahead and check us out. Check us out. You won't be disappointed. That's real talk. You will not be disappointed. All right. I appreciate you. Okay. Steph saying, I'm trying to do something, I'm trying to do something, a little strange for a piece of little change, you know what I'm saying? Got Dee Dee in the building with the hard eyes. I appreciate you. Okay. We in the building. Hey, chill. If you can drop the links and everything like that to Spotify and all that good stuff, iHeartRadio link and all that, just please do so. We are in the building right now, and we're about to go ahead and take care of some business. All right. So this is Friday night. I'm pretty sure more people will come in as they come in. I appreciate it. Thank you, Steph, just with the compliments, man. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you so much. All right. She said I'm looking crispy. Crispy. Okay. Looking crispy. We got a lot to talk about. All right. We have a lot to talk about. We got Indy Love just walked in the building and said, hey, don't forget about me. Don't forget about me. She's saying what up to everybody. What up, though? To everybody. Hey, Mrs. Parker, when you gonna let me? Miss Parker? I got you, FFS. I got you. Oh man. This is a true fact right here. When you put out positivity, it will come back to you. That's the fact. That's a fact. That's true. Very, very true. Very, very true. Listen, we got a lot to talk about real quick, but before we get into some of the meat and potatoes here, I want to talk about a little bit. I was watching Thugger Daily. I actually got a notification of Thugger Daily on X talking about an update between Quandarius Zachary and his lawyer. And so I want to read this update that they posted. All right. So that way we can get a full scope, because today was a crazy day in court. I was in Cat's chat. Shout out to Cat Knight Williams. She's on the panel show with Nick Starro over there with AV Nim and the Avengers of YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And they over there rocking right now. But like today was nuts. Right? And so, a lot of us were very, very concerned about this particular witness for the simple fact that it has already been broadcasted that sickle cell is something that he has been diagnosed. Quandarius Zachary, Lil D, has been diagnosed with. And so he had just got out the hospital and things of that nature. And the concern is that he takes the stand and he's on medication. And let's say, for instance, this medication causes him to forget things, lapse a little bit, things of that nature, right? And so we was kicking it about that. We was very, 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 very upset about the whole idea of him getting a material warrant arrest for his arrest. A lot of people was like, did Judge Whitaker sign off on it? She sure did. I posted it on my channel. She sure did. And so we found that out. Okay. And so this witness here is on medication and on narcotic, I think it's Dilaudid or oxycodone or Oxycontin, all these different types of narcotics. And so with that, of course, that it's going to be very difficult, especially for Cross and Sharp made a great point today about the fact of, okay, what if something happens where this witness was really good for direct, but then when it comes to Cross, he gets sick. And it seems like his sickness is random. And I'm pretty sure the way sickle cell works, you can have some good days. You can have some days where you just like fighting, right? And then sometimes those fighting days take longer to come back. All right. And so we have no idea what to expect. I mean, they put him in custody. They took him to Grady Hospital at 2-something in the morning, real stealth like, trying to save their own behinds. I say it that way. And then come to find out when Monday comes, the lawyer that is representing Quandarius Zachary, he still thought he was in jail. He still thought he was in jail. Okay. And he was like, Your Honor, I want to be able to get him out of jail. And then the state, like, well, Your Honor, well, he's actually in Grady Hospital. That's what. Hold on, Whitaker, what you mean? He's in Grady Hospital. And so the lawyer had no clue. And so this is something that we need to really address, right? That's the whole point. And so Shard is like, hey, we need to address this. If I go on cross and he starts tripping because he on them narcs, then I'm going to move for a mistrial. Exactly. Or we're going to strike the witnesses' testimony altogether. How many witnesses' testimonies have been stricken from the record so far? It's been a ridiculous amount. All right. So but towards the end of the day, when Quandarius Zachary said something about not wanting a lawyer and all this kind of stuff, and the way he said it with such cockiness, I don't care about jail ain't got nothing to do. I don't care about, I'm gonna get bothered about going to jail. I don't get bothered by that. But you got sick in jail, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like, what you mean? Like Lil Woody, what you mean? so it was a little cocky. I was taken aback by it, I'm not gonna lie, because for the simple fact that when someone is being benevolent or people are being benevolent towards you, hey man, you want to be able to approach that in a way that's a little bit more humble, a little bit more with gratitude and all that kind of stuff. So obviously he may not have known about it. Apparently, but the family did, or something of that nature. So we're gonna get the scoop right now. I'm gonna read it real quick before we get into the other meats and potatoes. All right. So this is let me go ahead and put myself down here. So this is what Thugger Daily got the full update between Quandarius Zachary and his lawyer. All right. It says here that he's been sent to his mom with an ankle monitor, no hotel. So that's good, right? That's good. Also, he wasn't told about the GoFundMe. All right, obviously, we kind of figured that. All right, him and his family though don't think the lawyer did enough. Now, this is where I get to a little bit where I get a little bit crazy here. It gets a little crazy here. You don't think he did enough? He kept him out of jail. He kept him out of jail. You feel what I'm saying? So, what you mean that they didn't do enough? He's not going to jail. He's not going into any custody. He's going to his mom's with an ankle monitor, and he's not going to a hotel where they have to have some type of law enforcement to, cover him or watch him and all that kind of stuff. And I think the issue that I have with this whole thing is the fact that this lawyer got ambushed with some stuff that he didn't know about. You could tell this lawyer did not know a lot of stuff about what was going on. He didn't even know that his client was in the hospital, back in the hospital at Grady. He thought he was still in jail. So that means no one talked to him at all. At all. Okay. So that's something to really to give him a little bit of praise for. All right. That he's able to go home with his mom with an ankle bracelet. And left it up to QZ if he wanted to keep him, which would have cost another $2,500. All right. It says here that the family didn't actually have access to the GoFundMe money yet. I don't know about this, y'all. Now this right here, this right here, I don't know now. Okay. It says here that the lawyer cost more than the GoFundMe raised, and they already paid the money up front. All right. They paid the upfront costs already. His sister personally thanked the lawyer and understands that he's the reason QZ isn't in jail and has immunity, and doesn't think Quandarius Zachary realizes that, and that's a fact. So the only person with some good sense right now is this sister right here. Okay, sister girl right here. I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? I definitely appreciate you because I don't think the family understand what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, he's not in jail. And that's the whole point, because Fulton County prosecution, they love to lock you up. They love to lock you up. So that's a quick update real quick about the lawyer and Quandarius Zachary that we do have from Thugger Daily, according to Thugger Daily. So that pretty much Thugger Daily been on top of this case like white on rice. So, hey, it's almost gospel when it comes to Thugger Daily, man. So shout out to Thugger Daily for the update. All right, shout out to my man Cavell. Oh, what up, though, man? Saying Tay Biz and saying what up to the folk. I appreciate you, man. Shouting me out. appreciate it so much. You know, and again, like I said, when you have people who are benevolent and they are kind towards you and they give out of their pocket, man, it's like, hey, man, you got to show a little bit of gratitude. And so the fact that he did not know, you know, and the way he responded, you know, and then he didn't know about it, I'm like, all right, I charge it to the fact that he didn't know. But man, you have people out here rooting for you, dog, and you ain't gonna do us like that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people's putting links on their channel and saying, hey, you know, do this so that way he get a lawyer and all this kind of stuff. But let me tell you something. I mean, when you have an attitude like that about, man, you know, lawyer, and you get cocky and all that kind of stuff, hey, man, you need a lawyer, brother. Okay. $8,900. Thank you, Trees Talk. Is it Trees Talks or is it Treesy Talks? I want you to correct me, please, because I don't want to mispronounce. But yeah, $8,900 is what it raised. Okay, so that's money. That's something for a lawyer, and it's just a witness lawyer. It's not like the lawyer, you're not on trial, but you have a witness lawyer, and you're gonna need a lawyer every day. He don't understand, man. Attorney Love and Hylton are evil, man. That's just my outlook and my perspective on them. Evil. All right. So that's my perspective. And so I wouldn't trust the state with my big toe or any toe. All right. For real. So we're about to go ahead and keep it going. Because since we're talking about the state, yes, there is such thing called a Brady list. All right. And you saw the thumbnail. We about to get into it right now. All right. Here we go. So let's get into the meat and potatoes, man. Put a 1 in the chat if you're ready. Man. Put a 1 in the chat if you're ready. Savia Mira said, hey, now, good evening, all. I appreciate you. She said, Tree C, got you. I appreciate you. Thank you for correcting me. All right. Candace, I wouldn't trust to stay with my shadow. That's real talk, man. That is real talk. Yes, that's another update. Is Aisha Judd. I appreciate you. Thank you for stopping by. Said that his GoFundMe is on pause right now, as it should be. So thank you for that update as well. Always line love said, but did he really not know, or is the family trying to save face due to people being upset? It could be the first part. I mean, how could he really know about it? It depends. You know, he was under custody the whole time he was in the hospital, but you know, it depends, you know, but obviously his lawyer and stuff like that, they didn't know what was going on. So apparently I think it's a family thing too as well. He seemed like a family lawyer more so than anything, but we digress. So we're going to talk about this Brady list, man. We're going to talk about Brady list. You saw the thumbnail. Who's on the Brady list? The Brady Bunch. The Brady Bunch from the District Attorney's Office of Fulton County. We're going to get into it real quick here. All right. So right here it says, what is the Brady list about? What is this whole thing about? All right. It says here, to ensure fair trials, the Supreme Court of the United States created the Brady Doctrine, obligating the prosecutor of every case to investigate, gather, and disclose all information about any individual upon whose testimony they will rely. Okay. The Brady list is definitive public-facing platform of the record, or of a platform of record for information about officer misconduct. All right. Decertification, public complaints, use of force reports. Okay. That's like abusing power. All right. And do not call listings and more potential impeachment disclosures. All right. So what is actually the Brady doctrine? All right. What is actually the Brady doctrine? Let's go ahead and take a look at it real quick. All right. So we got it here where the Brady doctrine, I'm going to go ahead and blow it up real quick for you. All right. So the Brady doctrine is, we talking about the Brady rule. All right. What is the Brady rule? The Brady doctrine, stemming from the landmark case, Brady versus Maryland. You know what I'm saying? Is a critical principle. Let me go ahead and blow it up a little bit more. Critical principle in U.S. criminal law. It mandates the prosecution must disclose to the defense any exculpatory evidence favorable to the defendant. All right. That is material to either guilt or punishment. Guilt or punishment. Okay. Key elements of the Brady doctrine is disclosure of exculpatory evidence, materiality standard is scope of Brady obligations. You got consequences of non-compliance. You got good faith or bad faith irrelevant, prosecution's knowledge. All right. So basically it's saying here, look, the Brady rule says this. If the prosecution got some information, you need to tell us. Basically, you need to tell us because that information can free my client. That information can free my client and absolve them from all types of evidence that you claim in your opening statement that you had. We saw the Alec Baldwin case. The Alec Baldwin case, they had exculpatory evidence towards the end of the case. The jury had to go home, and there was a hearing right then and there with the judge and the prosecution. It was a hearing right then and there. And let me tell you something. Come to find out that this prosecutor, Morrissey, was dirty, and you can't come out the mud clean. Dirty, dirty, dirty. All right. Dirty, man. And so this is something that prosecutors have to be aware of. But remember, this whole thing about the mandated Brady violation, video training that they had to do and all that kind of stuff. Let's take a look at this real quick. I want to go ahead and just refresh our memories a little bit when it comes to this right here. Let's go.
Today, prosecutors in the YSL RICO case learning how to do a better job of disclosing evidence.
Yeah, and the judge in this case actually mandated their training several weeks ago as part of her plan to get this trial back on track. 11 Alive's Grace King explains.
After multiple allegations of prosecutorial misconduct, Judge Paige Whitaker ordered remedial training for the entire prosecution team.
I'm just thinking y'all come into the courtroom, there'll be a deputy. You can sit and watch the video and be done with it.
The training, scheduled to take place Monday morning, focused on Brady and other professional obligations of a prosecutor.
If the prosecution has evidence that could be exculpatory or that could prove that someone is innocent or didn't do what they're charged of, then the prosecution has to turn that over.
In this case, the rapper Young Thug and 5 of his co-defendants are charged with RICO, as well as a series of violent and gang-related crimes for their ties to YSL.
In a serious case, you are trying to put them in prison, right? And the defense deserves the benefit of the doubt, and the benefit of that doubt is making sure that you give them everything you have, even if what you're giving them could hurt your case.
Robert James has spent the past 2.5 decades in court as DeKalb County District Attorney, solicitor, prosecutor, and now trial attorney. He says this kind of remedial training is extremely rare.
In all of those jobs, both as the executive and as the attorney, something that I've never seen. But I think the judge feels that, well, this is not technically misconduct, but maybe it's not appropriate behavior.
Jurors are out all week, but the trial will resume Monday morning with witness Lil Woody back on the stand in downtown Atlanta.
So y'all remember that, right? Okay. This is where they was talking about that training. Well, guess what? They on the list. Prosecutor misconduct, and this is the number. All right. So they can basically put you on this list, right? And what happens is when you go on this list, and let me just do something real quick. Because I want you to see something about this real quick. Right here, when you go on this website, you could go into the state that you live in and see who is listed on the Brady list. All you gotta do is hover over it and click your state, and you can see who's on that Brady list. Okay. We have the one and only Ms. Love. These are the supporting documents of the reason why she's on this Brady list. I know you are no longer deemed credible. Oh man. What? Come on, man. I thought this was the Quez and Mike show. Oh my goodness. Look at this. These are the supporting documents. Okay. The motion to disqualify all of the prosecutors, right? Here's the statement. While Whitaker is allowing the 20-month trial to move forward, she also admonished prosecutors taking the rare step of ordering them to watch a training video on the importance of sharing evidence with defense attorneys and other professional obligations. This is insanity, man. They're on here. They're on this Brady. They on the Brady list. Okay. They on the Brady list. Who else is on the Brady list? Brady list. Simone Hyton is on the Brady list. Simone Hyton is on the Brady list. The Brady Bunch. That's the way we all became the Brady Bunch. Remember that, Jamie Foxx? And love the Brady, love the Brady, love the Brady. Don't let the Brady dance, don't let the Brady, yeah. The Brady Bunch list, dog. Oh, they on the list. Oh, we about Savvy. Don't get ahead of me, Savvy. Don't get ahead of me, Savvy. Don't get ahead of me. Listen, she's on there for the same thing, right? The same thing. Now, what I find funny is that there's no date, but we already know it's been about a month. So it's somewhere in August, all right? Somewhere in August, all right? But let me tell you something. Real quick here. Hold on. Let me say something real quick here. We got somebody else on the list. Fani. Oh, Fani. We got one Fani Willis on the list. Oh. She's been on the list more than once. She got more stuff on here. Now listen. Look at this. Look at this date. I want us to look at this date very closely, okay? There's a reason why. All right. There's a reason why. FFS says no tidbits. I mean, her, my guy, means when you're on that list, your testimony is okay. Got you. I appreciate it. I misunderstood. I apologize. Oh, Steph JK say, oh, I'm hitting that website. Go to the website. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and do you a solid real quick. Y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and do you a solid real quick. All right. Here you go. Kablooski. There you go. Go to the website. See if your prosecutors in the office where you pay your taxes, go see if they on that list. All right. Now, why is Fani on the list? Let's go ahead and check out the reason why. This is the reason why right here. Let's go ahead and check it out.
Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis fighting a subpoena to testify before a Georgia Senate committee investigating her and her office.
The committee was formed after all the backlash over Willis's decision to hire her former romantic partner as a special prosecutor on the case against former President Donald Trump. So Sarah Hammond is live for us from the state capitol. And Sarah, Willis was supposed to be there. Yes, Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis's name did appear on the agenda this morning, but she did not show up. She did defy that subpoena as she fights that in court.
Full agenda this morning.
Despite a subpoena calling Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis to appear before a state Senate committee, she did not show up at this morning's meeting.
We have subpoenaed Fani Willis to testify. According to press reports, she is defying her subpoena and not appearing, but we will welcome her if she appears at some point during the meeting.
This Senate Special Committee on Investigations was formed earlier this year after backlash over Willis's decision to hire attorney Nathan Wade as a special prosecutor of the election interference case, charging former President Donald Trump and others with crimes tied to the 2020 election. Wade and Willis had a previous romantic relationship. Senators on the committee have said their mandate is to investigate allegations of legal and ethical impropriety stemming from that relationship. Willis has said previously she does not recognize the committee's authority to subpoena her and that the committee has no authority over her office. She's fighting that subpoena in court. The bipartisan committee is considering changes to state law that could hold her and others in her position to more account.
As we complete our mission of investigating some of the alleged misconduct and also ways to improve our statutory authority and laws that govern some of the areas that we've heard testimony on.
The Senate panel can subpoena witnesses and recommend changes to state law, but cannot bring charges or make any disciplinary moves.
That particular meeting on May 23rd,
The committee has already met half a dozen times. They say they plan to meet a few more times this fall. And once they finish the investigation.
All right, so they're investigating Fani right now. Fani Willis right now. They're doing a full investigation on this. They actually had a hearing to see how can we subpoena the actual this actual district attorney. You know what I'm saying? Now watch this though. Hold up. Wait. Hold up. I got something to show you guys. I got something to show you. Kablowski. All right, here we go. So there was a motion from the DA's office, right? There was a motion from the DA's office. And shout out to Tamar Hallerman, who stated here and put a screenshot of a part of the motion. The DA was asking, for a request for an emergency injunction to block enforcement of the Senate subpoena while she fights them in court. Remember Judge Shakur Ingram was one of the judges that recusal for Glanville passed on through, and she had to recuse herself because one of her bailiffs or whatever was caught before having a little boo thing in jail. she had a little rendezvous. I don't know if she was bringing chicken pot pies or nothing like that. This is a little ways ago. All right. But this judge right here said, listen, she's the one that's overseeing the subpoena fight. And she said, right here it says, Fulton County Judge Shakur Ingram, who is overseeing Fani Willis's Georgia State subpoena fight, just issued an order denying the motion. Right here, I'm going to read it right here. It said, let me go ahead and blow it up just a little bit. It says, as an initial matter, and as noted above, the time for the production commanded in the subpoenas in question has passed. Moreover, respondents have not taken action to enforce the subpoenas. As such, this is no longer an emergency. This is no longer an emergency. You let the time lapse. Moreover, the proper procedure for challenging a subpoena is to file a motion to quash. Okay, according to OCGA 24-13-23, she also cited case law right here. Alternatively, should respondents move to compel compliance with the subpoenas, this court has the power to refuse to take some action to compel compliance. Should petitioner demonstrate that doing so would be improper for any reason. In conclusion, the motion is denied as there is no emergency and the proper procedure was to challenge. It was for challenging the subpoena was to sign or do a motion to quash. So ordered September the 16th. September the 16th, man. All right. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. So this is Fani she thinks she's slick with it, man, but she not slick with it. This is the reason why. This is the reason why she is on the Brady list. This is the reason why she's on the Brady list. Abuse of authority, insubordination, non-compliance, okay? Attorney misconduct, bias, cooperative misconduct. All these things right here are a part of the Brady violation, to get on the Brady list. And because of there are so many multiple different factors in the Brady violations, you can either have guilt or be punished. And your punishment, of course, is up to the judge. But however, it's amazing how they're not throwing this case out because of Brady. I find it interesting how this YSL case is not being removed or dismantled because of Brady, man. Real talk. So I wanted to go ahead and give you that real quick before we get into the meat and potatoes of the stream. Shout out to the chat. Let me go ahead and get it back into the chat real quick. Let me scroll up real quick. I see the chat is. Let me get back to here. It says Savvy Amira said, "I'm sorry you got me all hot and bothered and excited over here. The fresh smell of accountability is in the air, boo." I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Somebody said same tape, but you know what? Hey, sometimes I just gotta let it flow out. You know what I'm saying? I gotta let it flow out, man. We gotta let it flow out. Okay, Miss 2T's 86 said, "Hey guys, I'm a little late, but I'm here." Hey man, it's all love. It's all love. It is all love. FFS says it's hard to get out on that site though. Many agencies do not put them on there. They'll just get rid of them. That's true. That's very, very true. Very, very, very true. Says looks like you can file a complaint on that website. You sure can. You can file a complaint on that website, and what happens is they will actually review that. Either citizens, other prosecutors, or legal organizations, other legal organizations can put somebody on that site. And when they're on that site, that prosecutor misconduct number is on there for ever. Basically, it's a part of the history of that particular prosecutor. And so this is the reason why I wanted to share this, because there are so many people that live in California. There's some people that's from Great Britain that come to the nation. It's people from Arizona that's in the nation. It's Texas, even here in India and Detroit, you know, where I'm from. I'm originally from Detroit. Like all of that. It's like you never know what you fight against or who you fighting against. And it's always good to have a little leverage. And sometimes you gotta hold something in your back pocket. And that's something to hold in your back pocket. The fact that you got a prosecutor or somebody you're going against as a prosecutor, and they have a history of being very, very abusing power. They have a history of prosecutorial misconduct. They have a history of so many different things. It's important to be able to get that information. So I want to share that with you. Tammy Lewis said, "Tay Biz TV with the green hearts." I appreciate you so much. Appreciate it. Shout out to Kristen with a C. So I gave money to the GoFundMe and don't care what they spend it on. Lawyer, groceries, I don't care. I gave with an open heart to try and help a man being used. I understand that. That's absolutely cool. That's what I'm saying. The benevolence. That's the reason why your benevolence should, and if it's me, I'm reciprocating that with gratitude and thanksgiving. So shout out to Kristen for giving from the heart. That's what it's all about. Giving from the heart. You feel me? Steph JK said, "Boo thing got Fani on the list." Got her on a list. Got her on a list. Ashley did it? No. I think the state. I think the somebody else did it. I can't think who, but it did say citizen report, so it wasn't from Ashley Merchant. Ashley Merchant file the whole emails record case or hearing that's going on right now from the DA requesting. There was like 5 things she requested when it comes to the financial records and all that kind of stuff. And that's a big mess that's going on right now. But Judge Krause, who recused Glanville, she's the one that's over this particular hearing. So shout out to Krause. And it seems like she's running a tight ship. She's not really allowing a lot of bickering and arguing going on. They're really trying to get to the point of things. So shout out to Krause at this point. She's doing all right. Let's see here, man. So many people showing love. I appreciate you all. Let's get into it real quick. So y'all saw the thumbnail, right? And let me show you something real quick. Y'all remember? Hold on, let me see something real quick. Let me go something real quick. Just want to pull up something real quick. All right, I want to let's go ahead and play this real quick. So this is, I want to play this real quick because we got to get into the meats. Yeah, please correct me. I'm all for it. Please correct me. I'm about to get into the meats and potatoes real quick. Not Gorilla Grip. Oh my God, the chat is lit, dog. Gorilla Grip. That's what Nathan Wade called her, right? That's what Nathan Wade called her, a Gorilla Grip, dog. That is insane. But let's get to the meats and potatoes, all right? I want to show, we're going to get into this full testimony of the judge who got attacked earlier this year in January. While giving out a sentence to one Mr. Redden, or his name is Deobra Redden. I believe that's the way you pronounce his name. Oh, wow. Shout out to Savvy Amira giving out the $19.99 to $20 super chat. I appreciate you. No comment, no question, just the pure love of the game. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for your benevolence and for your kindness. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I want to go ahead and get the show going, but I'm going to leave this up because I appreciate you. Everybody give a shout out to Savvy. Everybody put Savvy in the chat for me real quick. Everybody I want to put Savvy in the chat and put some green hearts next to her name. All right. Green or purple. Some of y'all like purple. Whatever color y'all like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever color y'all like. Let me tell you something. We about to get into this I want to get into this full testimony. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I have not seen the entire full testimony of this judge, but I am very, very curious. Okay. Okay, I see. So FFS says complaints filed by civilians do not get placed on the Brady list, nor can a civilian even file complaints against officers to be posted on the Brady list for that office. Okay, so that means that actual legal organizations are actually doing it then. Thank you for the information, FFS. I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it. Look at all the love, though. Look at all the love for Savvy. Robin Hamburg, I appreciate you stopping by. Savvy. Oh, Savvy. Everybody showing love to Savvy. Man, I appreciate that. That's what I'm talking about. Is that the guy did the hey, y'all remember, okay? Y'all remember. All right. The man earlier this year, he did a Bobby Boucher over that bench and grabbed that judge and tried to destroy her. Okay. He tried to do, I'm gonna listen. I'm definitely going to show this. All right. I'm definitely going to show this, but to refresh our memory here, okay? But let me tell you something. Man, look, I ain't never seen nothing like that before. My man did a Bobby Boucher. He said, Mama said, and he just went in. Savvy, I'm gonna put you down for a minute, but thank you so much for your super chat. I appreciate it. I'm gonna put you down for just a moment. My man did a Bobby Boucher. Okay, Mama say, not Bobby Boo, my boy Bobby Boo. I love Vicky. Wasn't it Vicky Valancourt? I love Vicky Valancourt, and she loved me, and she showed me her boobies, and I love them too. Oh God, he did a Bobby Boucher. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing. It was impressive. FFS, that was impressive, man. I ain't gonna lie. For you to leap up over, you got to have some springs on you. Okay. He said that's my movie. Hey, that's one of my favorites, man. That's one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies. Like, I can watch that all the time. He cleared it. He cleared that boy. He did the Bobby Boucher. He did the DJ Jazzy Jeff at the end of every Fresh Prince episode. Oh man. Oh my God, it was impressive. Let's go ahead and take a look at this, y'all. I ain't gonna belabor the time no further. Let's take a look at it once again.
A man being sentenced for battery in a Las Vegas courtroom violently attacked the judge. He launched himself over the bench at the judge, and it took 3 men to subdue him. The judge was injured, and her condition is being monitored. ABC's Aaron Katursky explains what caused that outburst.
Overnight, a judge attacked in a Nevada courtroom.
Y'all see that leap up? Y'all didn't see that leap up. Hold on. He went up over.
Cleared. Chaos erupting moments after what appeared to be a calm sentencing. Deobra Redden, a repeat offender, had pleaded guilty to attempted battery with substantial bodily harm, but argued to Judge Mary Kay Holthubench he did not deserve another trip to prison.
I feel like I should be given a shot because I'm in a better place than I was.
The judge reminded Redden of his lengthy criminal record.
3 felonies, a gross, 9 misdemeanors, multiple DVs. Got a lot going on, sir.
Still, he asked for leniency.
I feel that I shouldn't be sent to prison for a second time.
But the judge denied his request for probation.
Oh, my beard.
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that he gets a taste of something else because I just can't with that history. In accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court...
Moments later...
Let's be honest, though. Let's be real for a second. Her head was down, right? But look how high up she is from the floor. I don't think she expected him to clear that boy. I don't think she expected him to clear that. Like, seriously. I don't think she expected him to clear this. This was an Olympic high jump level of leaping. Okay? High level. High jump leaping ability right here. I don't think she thought he was going to actually clear that boy. but he did though. And he got a hold of her something scantless.
With the laws of the state of Nevada, this court...
Look, she don't think he's gonna do it.
Moments later, Redden leapt over the defense table and the bench, landed on top of the judge, and sparked a brawl with court officers and attorneys. Courthouse officials telling ABC News Judge Holthubench experienced some injuries and her condition is being monitored. The marshal sustained injuries and has been transported to the hospital.
You sure can.
With attempted
Aisha,
battery.
hold on. I'm gonna do this for
sentencing.
Aisha.
Deobra Redden, a repeat offender,
Do it
had
for Aisha,
pleaded
man.
guilty to attempted battery with substantial bodily harm, but argued to Judge Mary Kay Holthubench he did not deserve another trip to prison.
I feel like I should be given a shot because I'm in a better place than I was.
The judge reminded Redden of his lengthy criminal record.
3 felonies, a gross, 9 misdemeanors, multiple DVs. Got a lot going on, sir.
Still, he asked for leniency.
I feel that I shouldn't be sent to prison for a second time.
But the judge denied his request for probation.
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that he gets a taste of something else because
Okay, I believe that's the moment right there that triggered him. It's just the way judges talk. Man, it can burn you up. It can really burn you up. And again, y'all hear me all the time talk about the fact of, when I had to go on probation and things like that. Like, I'm telling you, the way they talk, the way they treat you is just inhumane, yo, for real. Seriously. Now, let me tell you something. He pled guilty to this, obviously. Okay. He pled guilty to this. I'm telling you, we're going to get into this real quick, but we're going to definitely get into her full testimony because I'm curious to hear. We have not heard about what her side of it was at all. But he did plead guilty, and he also claimed while he pled guilty, I'm pleading guilty, but I'm mentally ill. Now he's claiming mental illness, and anybody who knows law can see this coming a mile away. Like, of course he's going to claim mental illness. Something triggered him, man. Something triggered him, seriously. All right. And you can judge for yourself. You can judge for yourself, but let's go. Let's look at it again, yo. Let's look at this.
I just can't with that history. In accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court.
Moments later, Redden leapt over the defense table and the bench, landed on top of the judge, and sparked a brawl with court officers and attorneys. Courthouse officials telling ABC News Judge Holthubench experienced some injuries and her condition is being monitored. The marshal sustained injuries and has been transported to the hospital.
This video, sadly, is a great example of how vulnerable judges are. If they would have had any information that he was going to do something this outrageous and violent, they either would have restrained him or even done this remotely.
Back in October, Maryland Judge Andrew Wilkinson was found with gunshot wounds in his driveway following a targeted attack. Wilkinson was rushed to the hospital, but later died of his injuries. According to authorities, a document appearing to be Wilkinson's final court order revealed the 52-year-old judge had issued a decision in a divorce believed to involve the alleged shooter.
Judges, in my view.
So that right there is just a recap. That's sad about that other judge, man. I'm telling you, it is something about the demeanor that judges have where it could cause a person to trigger. He's claiming mental illness. Okay. He's claiming mental illness. We're going to go into the opening statement. This man has been on trial. Well, again, I believe, because I'm not sure if he got sentenced yet or not. I'll get back to that. I'll figure that out. But I know that it's been going on. Okay. So this dude right here, he has his defense team. Okay. He has his defense attorneys and everything like that. And there was an opening statement. The state gave the opening statement and all that good jazz. Then here comes the defense. Of course, the state did the normal thing, grabbed her, pulled her, did all this kind of stuff. He's a threat to society. He's a threat to, the public and right? So we're going to look at his defense attorney, who is, who is going to give his opening statement, and he's going to mention mental illness and things of that nature. And I'm telling you, I don't know, man. We're going to listen to this and let me know what you all think about this defense's opening statement. Let's go. And shout out to everybody in the chat. Let me go. Before Flesh of the Gods is in the building, man. Somebody, one of the moms can put Flesh of the Gods link in the chat. He does an excellent job with YSL and other content as well, man. Like it's super dope what he does. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. So somebody going over there, if you're on your computer, if you're looking at your computer, going on over there to Flesh of the Gods YouTube channel and put his link in the chat, and please subscribe to his channel. Again, we're a small family, man, but we show nothing but love. We show nothing but love. I got a witness, man. Flesh of God is awesome, man. So I'm telling you, show him love. Show love. Show love. Excellent content creator, and huge following. You know what I'm saying? And again, like I said, we small. Well, over here we a small fish in a big pond, but we doing what we do. Okay, we doing what we do. All right. If you need somewhere to go after you watch me, go ahead and look. Pleasure Guys live at 6 p.m. All right, let's get it. We're about to get into this video. Let's go. Thank you, sir, Steph JK. I appreciate it.
Mr. Arnold.
Now, this is the defense opening statement for this particular young man. Let's go. Appreciate you, Miss 2T's 86. Let's go. Appreciate the love. There you go, Tracy. Appreciate the love.
This presentation is unobstructed. Okay. We're good.
May it please the court, counsel, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, thank you for your time.
Hey, man, I'm sorry, dog. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, dog. But this right here is just, I love this, dog. I love oh, man. Oh, my God. I'm sorry. I got to do it real quick. I got to do it. Thank you, Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen, people of the jury. I appreciate everybody stopping by to see what Bobby Boucher just did. He cleared that bench, didn't he? You saw that, Leroy. Leroy, you saw that? He cleared that bench, didn't he, boy? That's the look he got, dog. This is Unc at the cookout right here, dog. This is Unc at the cookout. Like, who made them ribs? Huh? Okay. You know, I want it extra saucy. All right. Give me a beard on it. You better give me a beard on it, boy. Yes, sir. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, I quit. Y'all go. All right, here we go. I ain't gonna say nothing else. Let's go, dog.
And gentlemen of the jury, thank you for your time and attention. 3.7 seconds. 3.7 seconds.
I'm sorry. You see the way? Did you see the way he walk up with them glasses slid down, boy? This is Unc, man. This is Unc right here. Everybody put Unc in the chat, dog. This is Uncle Leroy right here, dog. He got them glasses on slide. You hear me? He got them glasses on slide. Baby boy, listen, man. You know, the best way to get to a woman's heart, you got to tickle them feet, boy. I'm telling you, you got to tickle them feet. It's always some old school advice that don't make no sense. You got to tickle them feet, boy. I'm telling you, man. Women love their feet tickle. Okay? You better act. Hey, I'm your uncle. I know. Boy, back in my day, I was setting them up and knocking them down. I'll tell you. All right, I quit. I'm sorry. Oh, my God. All right, man. Here we go, dog. Let's go.
0.7 seconds. 3.7 seconds. That was when the officer unclaps the handcuffs. My client heard it, turned and looked at him, and made a move for the bench. This all occurred in 3.7 seconds. 3.7
Shout out to Flesh of the Gods. I appreciate you,
That was
man.
not enough time.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your generosity. I appreciate it.
Formulate the intent to kill Judge Holthus. Remember what this case is about. There's one count of attempted murder. And for there to be an attempted murder, there has to be intent to kill. As everything else in life, the story didn't begin on January 13th. This story actually occurred on April 13th, 2023. This is when Mr. Redden was first arrested for what brought him in front of Judge Holthus. And basically, Mr. Redden was arrested for swinging a metal baseball bat at his brother-in-law. What was he charged with? He was charged with assault with a deadly weapon. He was also apprehended by the police, and he was taken into custody. When you're taken into custody, you're supposed to, within 48 hours, stand before a magistrate so they could decide the question of bail or not. Mr. Redden, on April 13th, told the officers that had him in custody that he refused to be transported. So he was just going to stay in custody without these charges being read to him. The following week, they waited some time, continued the matter. On April 20th, 2023, Mr. Redden, he failed to leave his jail cell again. And he says that he wasn't coming to the hearing. They had to continue the hearing. Again, on April 25th, Mr. Redden refused to be transported to the heading. Finally, the Justice Court Judge Jacinto, he did an order that says, by any means necessary, he needs to be present in this courtroom. So on April 26th, the officers got Mr. Redden and he was present. The judge then, he's handed the charges. The judge asked him if he understood the charges. Mr. Redden didn't even respond to the judge's questions, even though he had a copy of the information, which was assault with a deadly weapon, on his person. And not only did he not answer the judge's questions, he became disruptive in the court proceedings. At this point, again, we have almost a week plus that we see this individual not coming to court. Once he gets to court, he's being disruptive and he's not participating in the court proceedings. At this point, his attorney, which was a public defender, then petitions the court to send him to what's called competency court. Competency court is a whole nother courtroom here in our building. And competency court is for people that do not understand the legal proceedings, are unable to assist their attorneys in their defense, or number three, appear to have some kind of mental condition that prohibits them from acting properly in court. All those things were exhibited by my client, Mr. Redden. He was sent there to be evaluated and see if he can be restored to competency. Restored to competency is basically, we can't try you. We cannot prosecute you under the law since you're not understanding what's going on. You're not displaying courtroom behavior, you're not helping your attorney out. We can't sit here and prosecute you. Go ahead. So basically, he's found on May 23rd, he's sent to Lake Crossing. Lake Crossing is a mental institution here in town. And what they do at Lake Crossing is make sure that you're evaluated to test your competency. Sometimes, people are sent there and they have lingering symptoms like they're just making up, acting crazy. Other times, they sit there and evaluate someone and they're mental instability is so severe, they just have to stay at Lakes Crossing for an indefinite amount of time because, again, the state can't prosecute you under that incompetency. So in regards to Mr. Redden, he was evaluated and it was determined by Dr. John Paglini, who will be here and he'll testify in regards to this case and in regards to his finding of incompetency. And there are other psychiatrists because there at least has to be two that make that determination. And what they determined was he was incompetent to stand trial. And so he was given a course of medication because his evaluation indicated that during this course of medication that would calm him down, bring him back to earth, bring him to a person that we can work with, that he can go to court, he can understand the proceedings and not be disruptive in court. So Mr. Redden, when you go back to that one, I just want to make the last point that he was at Lakes Crossing for 5 months. He is eventually found by the doctors on October 20th, 2023, to be competent to go ahead and proceed with trial. So exactly 5 months later. Go ahead now, sir. After he returned back to Justice Court, he was in front of Judge Jacinto. He had discussions with his attorney at that time, and they decided that he was going to go ahead and enter into a guilty plea with the state of Nevada. Again, now he's of right mind. He is able to discuss his case with his attorney. As you can see, there is no courtroom outbursts or anything like that. And so much so.
Hold on. Do you all think this is a good do you think this is a good like talking point for the defense? So he's in and out of his right mind where he's like fully focused, opposed to when he's in a situation where it causes him to get rattled emotionally and then he triggers. Basically, that's what he's saying, dog. I mean, he's talking like, he's giving all these, talking points. But bro, all you saying is, it sounds like selective mental illness. It sounds like that's what you're trying to do. It sounds like you're trying to appropriate mental illness. How is it that you go from doing something as crazy as leaping over a bench to go to a judge, but when you had a plea agreement, you're just like, yes, I understand. Listen, I get it. I'm fine. Yes, I understand the plea deal. Now he's talking like, William. Yeah, I understand the plea deal. Absolutely. Yes, I understand it. Yes. Yeah. I appear before a judge. Sure. Of course I will. Yeah. But he get before the judge where he about to get sentenced for a list of crimes that he's done. He goes Bobby Boucher. I don't know. This seems like a weak case here from the defense. Is it if you feel like this, if you think this is a weak point from the defense, put a 1 in the chat. If you think this is a weak point from the defense, put a 1 in the chat. All right, let's go.
So the judge released him on November 1st, 2023. He was released from custody. Okay. He returns to back to court, and now this is district court. This is in front of Judge Holthus. And on December 6th, he has no extreme courtroom behavior. He goes ahead and the guilty plea agreement's read to him. He answers a myriad of questions and he pleads guilty to attempt assault with a deadly weapon. The sentencing was scheduled for January 3rd, 2024. Next slide. What you're going to see through medical records, through the testimony of Dr. Paglini, Mr. Redden did not receive his medication that he had while he was here in Clark County Detention Center. What happened was he gets released and he's given a prescription. That prescription is supposed to be filled at the Mojave Health Center. He calls and you'll hear testimony from Karen Springer. Karen Springer is his foster mother that he stayed with during this time. They made several attempts at appointments, called and attempted to get him in so he could take his medication. However, you'll see through the testimony, he does not get medication and he doesn't get it for 2 months. So from November 1st, 2020.
Hold on, we got to bring that back. He called me in mid-sip. We got to go back to this, dog. He called me in mid-sip, player. So what you're saying is, what you're saying is that your boy didn't get no medication in between the actual plea agreement and the sentencing. So he got triggered. Is that what you're saying, bro? Really? Unc. Now you know good and hell well that's a bad excuse for a nigga leaping over a bench for the judge. You know that's bad. That's what you come up with. He didn't take his medication. Is that what you say? Come on, get out of here, dog. Miss me, bro. Miss me, dog. Miss me. I'm sorry. I can't help it, dog. Miss me. Like, he didn't take his medication. And then all of a sudden, he's Bobby Boucher. He's Bobby Boucher. With the medication, he's Adam Sandler. Stop it. Really? Come on, man. You doing this? Hey, she's like, take the glass. I'm sorry, man. Listen to me. I can't. This is crazy, dog. This is crazy. Let's come on now. You got to do better than this, dog. That is not an excuse for him leaping over and grabbing a judge.
Testimony, he does not get medication.
Oh, man.
He doesn't get it for 2 months.
2 months.
So from November 1st, 2020, and November 1st, 2023 to January 3rd, 2024, a period of 60 days, he does not have his medication.
You see where it says Mr. Redden slipped back into his unstable mental. Bro. He slipped back.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
He slipped back. He slipped back into his unstable mental.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Stop it. The fact that you are insulting the public's intelligence is egregious, bro. It is egregious, dog. You're going to insult my intelligence like this? How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? Put like 5 caps. Let's go.
Medication that put him in that state where we saw the appropriate behavior. What you're seeing today, basically, he's under that medication that he had when he was in CCDC. And that's why he's displaying, good decorum, appropriate courtroom behavior. He's not going to wild out, and trust me, I'll tackle him if he tries to, do anything like that. But bottom line, that's not going to happen because he's medicated, he's calm, he understands what the proceedings are and what's going on right now. During this 60 days, Mr. Redden slipped back into his unstable mental state.
Yo, this is a good point. I'm sorry to keep pausing, y'all. This is a good point. Indy Love 2008. Shout out to Indy. Listen, I gotta put the air horns on this. I gotta put the horns on it. Dude, when he came back to court, they had him looking like Hannibal Lecter. That is the perfect description. They had a whole bee. You know how them dudes that be collecting bees at the beehive? And they be having the screen in front of their face. They had that whole situation on him when he came back to court. Had that man looking like he just ate a few people. All of a sudden, he's sitting there in a blue suit with his twisties twisted, looking like somebody. Now all of a sudden, he's an upstanding citizen because he took a couple pills. Hey, man, you are insulting our intelligence, Unc. I'm gonna need you to un-unk yourself so you can have some common sense. The man looked like he was collecting bees not too long ago. He went to he went to Fiji, okay, to get some honey at a beehive somewhere in the mountains. All right. He climbed up the mountain, he put that whole situation on, and y'all went and got him from Fiji. So he could stop collecting bees and brought him back to the States so he could be tried now. Now all of a sudden he's sitting there in a blue suit, a Tom Ford-ish looking suit with his hair somewhat done presentably, and all of a sudden he's just a model citizen, all because he had a couple of pills. Man, Unc, if you don't stop this right now, Unc, come on, man. Come on, dog. This is a great comment. Thank you, Indy Love, for this comment, because that is a fact. This whole mental ill thing is not about to work. It can't work, man. This is crazy. Thank you.
The same mental state that he had when he was first arrested for assault with a deadly weapon and charged and eventually pled to attempted assault with a deadly weapon.
Well, you don't live to recharge.
Then we have this unfortunate incident that happened on January 3rd, 2024. One thing I noticed, I looked at this videotape several times from the very beginning to the very end. I know that all the parties involved. A simple question wasn't asked. And I'll explain later as to why it wasn't asked. But no one asked Mr. Redden, did you take your medication today? His attorney didn't ask, the prosecution didn't ask, nor Judge Holthus asked. I'm not saying this is anybody's fault. It simply wasn't done. So he comes into court and nobody knows what his real mental state is during that time. Nobody knows that for 60 days, he's been having paranoid thoughts. Nobody knows that he's been staying at home.
Look at this dude. Look at him. Will you look at him? Look at this dude. There is nothing stable about this face. Nothing. There is absolutely nothing stable about this man. And he is allegedly on medication right now. He's on medication right now. This is what medication face look like. This is what a medication face look like. Boy, please. But if you don't stop this,
not going out into the public and different other things that were discovered by Dr. Paganini that he'll discuss. Mr. Redden did not intend to kill Judge Holthus. The evidence will show that Judge Holthus, she hurt her head when she struck the wall that was directly behind her, similar to this wall. She also was hurt when she fell on the floor. You'll see pictures. She wasn't significantly bruised. She was bruised, but it wasn't significant bruises. And those were basically on the areas where she fell. She had no cut. She had no strangulation marks on her throat. There will be no evidence that anybody ever that saw Mr. Redden touch her throat. We'll have specific evidence of where his hands were placed right before he was pulled off of Judge Holthus. But again, his actions do not indicate that he was intending to kill Judge Holthus. And again, you always have.
Okay, so the intent part. Okay, this is where court and lawyering and all these things start, all these nuances and all these word plays and semantics start taking place. He had no intent to kill, to murder, or to unalive. So basically, he was triggered by the fact that he was not coherent enough on a mental level in order to be civilized at the time of his hearing. This is the case. Now, unaliving without intent, I believe, is called manslaughter, right? Okay, so the fact that this lawyer now is talking about intent is very interesting. It's the same thing as the Alec Baldwin trial. He did not intend to shoot the young lady, the cinematographer, or the photographer, I think cinematographer, at the time on the set of Rust. However, he still did do it. Him doing it is not the issue. Did he intend to do it? Okay, now we got word salad. This is word salad. So a lot of people listen to word salad and then they disregard it. You might want to pay attention to word salad. I'm telling you, because people have a tendency to use word salad all the time. That's why that's why when you're dating somebody, you got to listen to what they're not saying, because everything they're saying has some word salad in there. You don't know if it's pepper or garlic or whatever's in that salad. So you need to pay attention to everything. Leave no stone unturned. If you leave a stone unturned, what happened is that you start dating somebody, then you start creating a relationship in your head, and then you think you have someone that's committed to you like you're committed to them. And no, you did not get the full semantic of what was going on the date. Same difference. Manslaughter, murder, same difference. There's a word salad at play that you need to listen to. He didn't intend. He didn't intend to do it. Alec Baldwin did not intend. Okay? If it wasn't for that exculpatory evidence, it's a possibility that he could have gotten some time. But when the prosecution mess up like they do and try to have a personal agenda and vendetta, then all of a sudden you get exculpatory evidence coming to play. Like, whoa, where'd this come from? You see what I'm saying? So listen to this lawyer. Onk is onking right now. Okay, Onk is onking. But he's using specific words in front of the jury and saying he did not intend. Everything was reactionary. Reason being why it was reactionary, because he didn't take his medicine. Oh, Onk is even, it's weak. It's weak. I'm not trying to praise Onk right now. It's very weak what's going on. But there's something to think about. And when you look at the video, if you just look at it like raw video, if you look at it just, in its entirety, you'd be like, you know what? I think he just meant to beat her up. I don't think he meant to kill her. Right? That's what you would say. Until you start going down this line of things that's going on in his history. You like, maybe he did. You feel me? So this is the reason why this intent thing is super, super important. It's very, very important. Very, very important. Very interesting so far. Very interesting so far. Oh, FFS, come on, man. Don't do me like that raw video. Like what? Oh, that video. Y'all fooling in the chat, man. I ain't messing with y'all, man. Let's go, dog.
Have to go back to intent. That is going to be the big question.
FFS is hilarious. Put FFS in the chat, y'all. He is hilarious.
Did he have the intent to go ahead and kill? And we are going to submit that the evidence does not show there is any intent to kill Judge Holthus.
Okay, that was the opening statement. That was actually the full opening statement of both. This video right here, if you want the link to the video, I can definitely show it, share it with you. Let me go ahead and get the link real quick. All right, this is the link. All right. Full opening statement. The opening statements both on defense and prosecution was very short. It wasn't long at all. It wasn't like YSL 2-3 hours and craziness like that. Okay, so before we get into the full testimony, because we're gonna watch the full testimony, I am going to make sure that I speed it up a little bit. I don't want to have us here all night. If you want to hang out with your boy all night, that's what's up. I ain't against it now. I ain't against it, you know what I'm saying? But if you want to hang out with your boy all night, that's what's up. You feel me? Because I'm in the building right now. But I want to share something with you real quick that we have in store for you. All right. So an update. Another update. Hey, Sammy said, like, as a credit. Hey, we in the building, man. Look, we in the building. We in the building. FFS is, yo, the love that FFS shows me, man, I appreciate it so much, man, for real. So much, dog. Tay Busy, we need you to come to Club Classy Beats with us. Okay, Club Classy. I know Classy Beats does I seen his content with like the YSL and all that kind of stuff, but I didn't know he did like some music stuff. So I definitely have to check it out. I definitely do, man. I definitely do. FFS fooling right now, man. Yo, this is so I appreciate y'all, man. Woo. 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Hey, that baby oil was crazy. The baby oil was crazy. But I got something for you real quick, though. All right. So we got 7 minutes ago. 7 minutes ago, we got an update saying QZ's warrant has been canceled and withdrawn. What? I'm giving y'all so much. Hey, I'm giving y'all update tonight, yo. I'm giving y'all update love tonight, yo. Okay. Says here. State of Georgia versus Jeffrey Williams et al. All right. Defendants. So Judge Whitaker signed the warrant. Then she reneged on the warrants. That's good. Says order to release hold on a material witness arrest warrant. Upon application by the state to withdraw the order to arrest Mr. Quandarius Zachary as a material witness with the criminal offense of OCGA 17-7-90. And I believe that this OCGA, I believe it was actually misconstrued in the initial order for the warrant. I may do a video about that soon. Okay. Because I believe it was for a certain particular instance that OCGA 17-7-90 was warranted. But I'm going to get some more information and do a video about it. And to release the material witness, and having considered this motion, it is the order of this court that all Fulton County Superior Court warrants, material witness warrants, for Quandarius Zachary, born 1993. Dang, he young. He 31. August 21st, 1993 shall be canceled and withdrawn at this time and are to be removed from the GCIC. So Fulton County Superior Court warrants, all of them, all of the Fulton County Superior Court warrants. Was it more than one? All Fulton County Superior Court warrants? How many was it? Ordered today to be removed or withdrawn. So that is some information that we have. And that's good. And that's good. Savvy Amir says, thank you, Tay Biz. Chad, thank you all for absolutely. Always. It's always a wonderful time, man. It's always a wonderful time here. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you. All right, well, let's get into the meats. Let's get into the meats. I know people got like this baby oil situation, man, crazy, you know. Let's get into it. All right, so I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna do like a 125 on this first. Let me know if it's too fast. All right. If I have to go 1.5, I will. You know what I'm saying? Y'all let me know what y'all think about it. All right. Look. All right, look, man. This is crazy. This is crazy. Let's get it in. Let's get it in. Let's get it in. All right, here we go. Here we go. Hold on. Let me share this tab. Here we go. All right, we about to get into the testimony of this judge who was attacked that we just did a nice recap on the man who was being sentenced by this judge who did not take his medicine from November the 1st, 2023 to January 3rd, 2024, earlier this year. Okay. And this particular judge was attacked by the man. Bobby Boucher the bench, right? And now we're going to get the full testimony of this this judge, and we're going to go ahead and check it out. If you got some time, if you need to go ahead and use the restroom, if you need to go ahead and pop you some popcorn, or if you need to go ahead and pour your drink, go ahead and do it, because we're about to get it in. We're about to get into her experience being attacked by this gentleman. Obviously, the gentleman allegedly was not on his medication. Apparently, there is some type of medication he's supposed to take. He was not able to take it for whatever reason. I'm assuming the defense was definitely challenging that reason why. But we're going to definitely look at the full Monty of this particular testimony. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right.
Counsel.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
Are you currently a Judicial District Court judge?
I am.
How long have you been on the bench?
Since 2019.
Were you elected or appointed?
Elected.
Since then, have you handled what we refer to as a mixed docket?
I have.
Can you describe what that is for the jury, please?
Means I do half criminal and half civil. So on some days I'm doing civil trials and calendars, and opposite days I'm doing criminal.
I want to focus in on criminal calendars. What types of matters are you handling on a day-to-day basis?
All types that come to the district court, which are basically felonies and gross misdemeanors.
Are there various types of hearings associated with criminal cases?
There are.
Would that include arraignments, guilty pleas, sentencings, revocations, and trials such as this?
It will.
Can you explain to the jury briefly what a guilty plea hearing is and how it unfolds?
A guilty plea hearing is when, obviously, most cases don't go to trial, they negotiate, and it's a negotiation between the defense attorney and the state. Defendant will enter into a guilty plea agreement, and then at the guilty plea hearing, we do a canvass. They review paperwork, sign off on it, and then we also engage them orally to make sure they understand everything they're doing and the rights that they're giving up in exchange for their guilty plea.
Give me 1 second. Shout out to Kat Knott Williams for gifting 5 Tay-Biz memberships, Tay-Biz TV memberships. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much, Kat. Always showing love. Kat said something in the chat of Nick Starro's chat when he was on doing the panel tonight. It was very, very touching. She said, I was mentioning the fact that the panel was like full of like YouTube legends and you know what I'm saying, and Avengers and things of YouTube. And then Cat Williams said that I was a YouTube legend in the making. So I appreciate you, Cat. I appreciate you, Cat, for the actual for the love that you showed me. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. And yo, it's all good. It's all good. She said, I hate to be late. I hate to be late, but had to be late. It's all love. It's all love. If you got a membership from Cat Williams, go ahead and say thank you, Cat. Give Cat some love. If you have received a membership from Cat, you know what I'm saying? There's some people that's in the chat. There's some people that's not in the chat. They just lurking. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're lurking and you got a membership, put thank you in the chat. All right, let's get it in. Let's go. Right now, they just asked about her explaining plea agreements and plea deals and things like that, with what it is, and asking her preliminary questions just to lay foundation on who she is and all that kind of stuff, so that way they can move on to the actual full testimony of this judge. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. Let's go.
Subsequent to a guilty plea hearing is in the matter set for sentencing.
It is.
And what is a sentence?
A sentencing is when they're going to be sentenced pursuant to negotiation or otherwise, whether they're going to get probation or prison. After we accept the guilty plea, we refer the matter to parole and probation. Parole and probation does what we call pre-sentence investigation report, criminal background, social background, medical background, all the history of the individual for consideration ultimately in passing sentencing.
Are there times in which a criminal defendant will appear in front of you out of custody?
Yes.
And are there other times in which they will appear in custody?
Yes.
As a result of that, are there some sentencing hearings in which people are remanded into custody from out of custody?
There are.
Are there security measures in place in the courtroom for these out of custody defendants as well as the in custody?
Well, there's security in the courtroom. We have marshals and we have corrections officers watching. I don't know per se if there's anything special.
No, that answers the question. Are there times in which you will sentence someone to probation?
Yes.
Other times in which you may send them into custody, correct?
Yes.
When you sentence someone to probation, are they still monitored by the court or something?
Not by the court, by parole and probation.
And what is parole and probation?
Parole and probation is the division responsible for supervising individuals that are on probation. They may have to report, they tell them what to do, help them find jobs, or put them in programming, get evaluations to see what kind of programming is best to serve that individual.
Are there times in which defendants who you presided over will get probation, they'll go out into the community, and then they'll essentially mess up on probation and stuff?
Yes.
And would they be brought back in front of you at that point in time?
Not right away. Sometimes P&P tends to work with them a lot of times to give them multiple chances. But at some point, when they get to a certain level, then parole and probation will put on what we call a violation report, saying that they're violating a probation. Judge, it's time for you to take a look. We think they should go do their time now.
And then that goes in front of you, and what's that proceeding called?
Revocation hearing.
At revocation hearings, do you essentially make a decision if the defendant should remain on probation or be remanded into custody?
Yes.
I want to bring you back to November 20th of 2023. On that date, do you recall whether or not you took a guilty plea from the defendant in a prior case?
I do not specifically.
Okay. When I say the defendant, do you understand who I'm referring to?
I do.
Who?
Mr. Redden.
Do you see Mr. Redden in court?
I do. Sitting between his two attorneys over there at the table.
Would the record reflect identification of the defendant?
Okay, there's three gentlemen and he's
The middle
right
guy.
now?
Yep.
Okay, let the record so reflect.
So as you sit here today, you don't recall taking a plea from the defendant?
I do not.
If I were to show you a document that memorializes that plea, would that maybe refresh your recollection?
Yeah.
Yeah, Coach?
Yes.
Me.
Oh, so sorry. I'm so sorry.
So I'm showing you court minutes as well as a guilty plea from November 20th of 2023. Our court minutes essentially a record of any court proceeding that happens in the courtroom. Do you recognize your name on there?
I do.
And do you see journal entry which suggests that you took the defendant's plea?
Yes.
Okay. And that would be on November 20th of 2023?
Correct.
Do you remember which charges he pled guilty to?
Attempt battery, substantial bodily harm.
Okay.
That I remember.
Okay. And so on this particular date, when you took the defendant's plea in the prior case, was he released from custody?
He was.
And was that pursuant to an agreement in the guilty plea?
Correct.
When he's released from custody, proceeding to follow the guilty plea?
Correct. The sentencing date.
Okay. And you talked a little bit about the sentencing date. You mentioned that you received some materials to review in order to prepare for sentence.
Right.
And in this particular case, did you receive those materials?
I did.
And what were those materials?
Well, I always have the guilty plea agreement, so I know what the negotiations were, and the pre-sentence investigation report, primarily.
Primarily, you said? If sentencing was set in this case on January 3rd of this year, when would you have prepared your calendar and reviewed those materials?
Sometime in the week prior.
And
Usually
so-
closer in time, so I remember. I don't remember because it was a holiday kind of time. It was our first day back. It may have been like the Friday before.
Okay. And so you know some things in advance about the defendant when you're going in to do a sentencing.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember reviewing a PSI in this case?
I do.
Can you explain just briefly for the jury, when you're reviewing a PSI, what are the types of things you're looking for in order to determine the appropriate sentence?
Generally, the first thing, partly because it comes first in the PSI, is the age. Because depending on whether, if it's somebody older who's never been in trouble before versus somebody super young, a lot harder to send an 18-year-old to prison, to be honest. And just kind of, so age is what I look at first.
Continue.
And then I kind of peruse, is it somebody, do they have a lot of AKAs? That kind of gives you a little heads up. A look at the family background to kind of see what we're dealing with. Is this somebody who's had problems growing up? Has there been foster care kinds of situation? What's the family situation? A lot of times we'll have, dad's in prison, mom took off, raised by grandma, all those things that you're kind of mitigating maybe on some level the behavior or trying to understand what you need to address and where you need to go. Obviously, one of the big things is the criminal history. I always jot down how many felonies, how many gross misdemeanors, how many misdemeanors, and then looking specifically at those, what types are they? Is this somebody who's got a drug issue that needs to be addressed? Are we looking at stolen identity of another, possession of credit cards and stuff, which more often than not also indicates a drug problem and where these crimes are focused. And then kind of in a separate category is violence. And sex offenders, I suppose, another one that are a little bit different.
Is prior violence an important factor for you when deciding whether to put someone back out on the streets or put them into custody?
Hugely.
And in this particular case, did you note prior violence in Mr. Redden's history when reviewing his case?
I did.
As you sit here today, do you have a recollection of any specifics?
I know that when I did the PSI, he was about 30 years old, and his first criminal conviction was in 2012, battery domestic violence. So literally, he hit 18 and it's domestic violence on his record. And throughout the remainder, until I saw him again, he averaged one battery domestic violence conviction a year, always. He had 3 felony convictions.
Whoa. Per year? Dang, man. Yo, that's crazy. That is crazy. He did have a long rap sheet, but that is nasty work right there. That is nasty work. Let's go.
He had an attempt theft that actually started out, it was pled to an attempt theft, but it started out as a robbery, which is the violent taking of property from someone else against their will, a classic crime of violence. He had 2 battery domestic violence felony convictions. You get a felony after you have so many misdemeanors, they start becoming felony. He had a battery with substantial bodily harm conviction. He had a gross misdemeanor for malicious destruction of private property, which started out as a attempt home invasion, meaning kicking in someone's home. Again, pled down to the malicious destruction. But I believe that was the one I had him on probation for. I didn't recall it, but I've since learned that he was in my department on probation for that. And I ultimately revoked him because of the case that I was seeing him on back at the time of the attack.
Okay, so that's a lot of information.
I know, sorry. I do that.
I appreciate that.
Okay, do me a favor, both of you. Make sure you let him get his question out before you respond and vice versa. My court reporter is really good at what she does, but she's never mastered the art of taking down 2 people at the same time. Sorry.
In addition to criminal history, are you also reviewing the PSI to determine if that individual has had opportunities with probation, services, mental health treatment, and all those types?
Absolutely.
And in this case, as you perused Mr. Redden's PSI, did you see evidence to suggest that he had several opportunities with the system when it comes to services?
I did. All of the crimes that we see, they're in a chart form, and then next to the chart is kind of what they got, probation, prison, violations and whatnot. And so you can tell that he had probation a number of times, that he had violated a number of times. According to his report, he had gone through mental health court, had multiple sanctions and
All right. So I'm sorry. So he's gone through mental health court. Okay. So this mental health angle that the defense is taking is legitimate. Obviously, this judge knew that this was happening, so it's very, very telling. Though, I mean, the way Unc pulled up on the jury, though, it was kind of crazy. But is it strong? Is it a strong enough case for the defense? I don't. Again, this whole lapsing back and forth and up and down, and one hearing I was cool because I had my medicine. The other hearing I ain't had my medicine, so I leaped over a bench and attacked him, like, you know. And I don't have the intent to unalive, but at the same time, I wasn't in my right mind. That, you know, all that is playing out right now. So her stating the fact that he had been to mental court actually gives some legitimate, it gives a level of legitimacy with this particular angle or this particular case for the defense. However, is it strong enough? That's the question.
And got in trouble a lot of times, but ultimately was passed through and graduated from the mental health court program. According to the PSI 2 times, he definitely had jail terms and he had been to prison for on 1 term.
And so you had mentioned a moment ago, you have since realized that you previously revoked his probation.
Correct.
I want the record to be clear about that. When you're reviewing his PSI, preparing to sentence him when the incident occurs, you don't recall that information?
No, no clue.
Fair to say there are hundreds, if not thousands, of criminal defendants who've come in front of you over the years?
Yes.
And you have since learned that you had previously revoked his probation and sent him to jail?
Correct. And I don't know if I sent him to jail. I don't know if he was in custody and he stipulated that he had violated his probation. I mean, he may have been agreeable to it. I don't know any of the facts of that. I just know that I somehow ruled you're revoked.
Understood. I want to now move forward to January 3rd of this year. So on that date, you proceed into court for your criminal calendar. Do you remember how many matters you had on that day?
I don't.
Were there?
Do you want me to speed it up? Let me know if you want me to speed it up.
Yes.
At some point in time, did Mr. Redden, was his case called?
It was.
If you can summarize for the jury what happened when his case was called initially.
I mean, nothing. It was just the typical. He was in on a bench warrant return as well because after we let him out, he didn't show up. So Mr. Almasi, his attorney, had put him on for a bench warrant return, meaning come into court and ask not to quash the warrant, not to arrest him on it. And so everyone understands he was out of custody on the day of his sentence. He was.
He had a bench warrant in that case, but he walked in from the street.
Correct.
When
he had failed to appear at the prior sentencing date.
Okay, that's what I'm looking for, Judge. So there was a prior sentencing date. He doesn't show up for that. A bench warrant is generated, and then he comes in out of custody at the second one.
Right.
Explain for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury how it is that the sentencing starts to proceed. Who talks first and how does that go?
The state always has the right to argue first. In a lot of negotiations, they'll negotiate away the right to argue for any particular sentence. They might agree to probation. They might make no recommendation. There's a number of things they could stipulate to a sentence per the deal. In this case, because the defendant failed to appear, any negotiation previously offered by the state is off the table, and the state, what we call, regains the right to argue. So even if they were agreeing to some other sentence previous, because he failed to appear, they have the right to argue for the sentence. So
in this case that occurred, and then I would presume the deputy district attorney that was in court that day would argue the sentence.
He did.
And he would recommend whatever sentence he deemed appropriate.
He did.
Ultimately, the decision would have been up to him.
It was.
After the district attorney argues for their sentence, what happens next?
Then I turn to the defendant, Mr. Redden. He goes next. Do you have anything to say to the court before I pronounce sentence? And he was very calm and articulate, and basically he's been doing great. He's at a better place than he ever was before.
He was calm at the time.
I pointed out your violent history, your failure to appear, and I don't remember whether mental illness came up, but I had said that he had been through mental health court. In his PSI, he had claimed that mental illness wasn't an issue for him, so it's kind of hard to. I didn't know how to reconcile it, but anyway, he had talked about he was going to have a job with the Teamsters and he was going to do all this stuff. Meanwhile, he had no employment history whatsoever. That, at least according to the PSI, there was no employment history. So I don't know where he was going, but anyway, he was calm, and he said,
"Go ahead.
I think you should give me probation." He said, and we did have we talked about his criminal history, and it's just so much violence. And
let me ask you some very specific questions.
Sure.
When Mr. Redden was speaking in court, did you observe any signs of impairment?
No.
Did you observe any signs of mental distress or disease or hallucinations or anything of that nature?
Absolutely not.
Had you observed something to that effect, would it have been concerning to you?
Of course.
Are there times in which the court needs to jump in and say, hey, it's not appropriate to proceed today?
Absolutely.
Here, did you see anything that caused you concern while Mr. Redden spoke?
Not at all.
After Mr. Redden spoke, who spoke next?
Mr. Almasi,
And who was that?
his attorney, Caesar.
And was Mr. Almasi permitted to make a full argument to the court and ask for leniency and whatever he wanted?
He was.
And did he do so?
He did.
Now, in a moment, I want to play some video for you. Judge, with the court's permission, we've previously stipulated to 58. May I publish?
You may. No, they should, let me see. No, they should be on, but maybe the tape is one off. Somebody has. Oh, he has it, okay.
Before we get there, Judge, up until that point, district attorney speaks, Mr. Redden speaks, defense attorney speaks. Was everything proceeding as you expect a sentencing proceeding?
Yeah.
Were there any signs at all that this was going to get out of control or violent?
No, it was actually completely contrary because he was, like I said, calm and articulate. And he said, this is what I'm doing. But at the same time, he said, but Judge, I understand you got to do what you think is right. And I understand that.
Sorry, once again. So basically, what's happening is that they are definitely unpacking the fact that this whole medication thing is just bull. Because even though he did not take his medication from November the 1st until of 2023 until January the 3rd of 2024, when the judge here, when I was looking at him, he looked like the calm individual. He looked like a regular citizen that wasn't tripping. And like FFS just said, calm and articulate until he wasn't. What triggered it? Was it really the fact that he didn't have his medication? Or was it the fact that he was really upset with the judge and wanted to attack her? Because at the end of the day, he was able to respond to her in a calm, articulate manner. So basically what the state is saying, like, it can't be the fact that there was a lack of medication being given to him in the last 2 months, because he came in court like he was cool. Even after he looked like Hannibal Lecter the first time when he came into court with the beehive fencing looking helmet on and, all black or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So they're trying to debunk this whole mental issue that this man has. So, and so far the judge is the perfect respondent to these questions, because she's looking at him like, yo, he was cool. Everything was fine. He even told me like, yo, judge, you got to do what you got to do. I understand. So he was understanding. He was articulate. He was calm. Everybody else saw it because it was live. It was in court. It was a public sentencing. So everybody saw what happened, so this is what we're looking at. And so far, it seems like they're doing a good job of debunking this whole medication situation. So let's go.
So it was better than I would normally hope, I guess.
You want to show you? Wow. Oh, I can get
3697.
Look at this. Look at this.
All right. This is time stop for entry of judgment, imposition of sentence, or legal cause or reason why judgment should not be pronounced against you at this time.
No, Judge.
The verdict should be 3697.
Is that your courtroom on January 3rd of 2024?
It is.
And is that your current courtroom?
It is.
As you look around this courtroom, is it set up a little bit differently than yours?
It is.
The folks that are on the right-hand side of the screen, do you know who they are?
Yeah. The deputy DAs, Joey Scarborough and Richard Scow.
We got squeaky chair like YSL. We got the squeaky chair, dog. That's a squeaky chair, man. Hold on. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Hold on. Somebody gave Miss Love chair to the to Las Vegas, to Nevada. You hear it? Hold on. Here we go. Hold on. I missed it. Hold on. We got to do it again. Hold on.
Yeah. The deputy DAs.
The squeaky chair was sent to Vegas, Nevada. Yeah. They need some oil, man. Get them some oil. Somebody need to call Diddy. Somebody need to call Diddy and get them some oil for them chairs, man. Shout out to Love My Rescue Pup. Shout out, man. Get them some oil, man. Unbelievable. Oh my goodness, dog. Hilarious, man. That is funny.
Thank you, guys.
My question is the picture also in your screen?
It is.
You can see that on your screen, Judge?
I can.
All right, for those of you that just coming in, it's your boy Biz TV, man. Welcome to the Biz Nation. We are looking at the full testimony of the judge that was attacked by Deobra. I think it's Deobra Redden, who attacked her, leaped over the bench, and we saw that earlier today in the stream. And so I just want to catch you up, let you know that we are doing that. Also, we did do an update on Quandarius Zachary and his lawyer. And also we got an update on the fact that the actual warrant for Quandarius Zachary's arrest has been withdrawn throughout all Fulton County Superior Court judges. All right. So that's where we at right now. Let's go.
The district attorneys, Richard Scow and Joy Scarborough.
And on the left?
Cesar Almasi.
Is that the gentleman in the blue suit?
It is.
Who's that taller guy standing in the center of the room?
Shane Brandon, my marshal.
And is Shane Brandon similar to Marshal Black, responsible for courtroom security?
He is.
Counsel, can I have you approach for a moment?
Oh, they approaching. Hold on. We got TiVo though. Hold on, we got TiVo. Oh, we got TiVo. Hold on.
Move on with the video.
There we go.
Follow up on a question I asked earlier. You had mentioned PSI. What does that actually mean?
Pre-sentence investigation report.
And is that, as you described, several pages long, and it would give not only criminal history of the individual, but where they're from, their childhood, their background, their marital status, their health, and various other things.
Yes.
Glad to have you back, Miss
Essentially,
Two
it's a
T's
package
86 in the
It's
building.
supposed to give you everything you need.
Everybody put 2 T's in the chat. That's correct.
These individuals down here on the left, you can see at least one of them. Who are these folks?
Those are the other inmates.
And so they are in your courtroom. They're sitting where our jury is sitting today.
Correct.
And those are in custody defendants. Is that right?
Right.
When a defendant shows up out of custody, do they sit back in the gallery area here?
They do.
And as you mentioned before, Mr. Redden was out of custody.
He was.
I'm going to resume the video.
All right. This is time to run through judgment and position of sentence or legal cause of reason why judges should not be pronounced against you at this time. No, Judge. The virtue be pleaded guilty, I hereby judge you guilty of attempt battery.
I mean, no new hairstyle from January 2024 until last week. Dang, Judge. Dang, Judge. Like, I ain't want to say it, but I had to say it. Like, you couldn't put a pressing comb on it real quick. Like, you couldn't put a little. What they use? Pantene V or maybe it's Maybelline. I don't know. Dang, Judge, you still got the same hair. You let her. I'm trying to let her live, but I can't. I'm just noticing, like, dang, I'm realizing I'm looking at the same hairstyle from 8 months ago. This is all I'm saying, dog. Like, you ain't want to do one of these, like something, there's anything. All right. I'm sorry. My bad. All right, let's go.
Substantial bodily harm. My notes indicate the state retained the right to argue to the benchmark. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct, Judge.
All right. State.
Based on the history, Judge, let's see the PSI.
I'll look
I know you
through.
see all that, so I'm going to rehash everything. My concerns are there are crimes of violence.
Yep.
In the PSI, 3 felonies, 1 probation revoked. But you see on page 5, there are many probation violations or remands on the probation honorable discharge for. But I'm concerned based on the nature of the criminal history, home invasions, battery, domestic violence, assault that ended up in this case that led to an attempt battery substantial. I think felony is appropriate, and I think a prison term would be appropriate.
Is there any restitution or anything like that?
No, Judge, not that we have today. So, but I do think prison is appropriate. I asked the court to impose 19 to 48 on this case based on the criminal history and the facts of this case.
Judge, could you hear that okay? When the deputy district attorney asked for 19 to 48, just describe what that means.
The attempt battery or substantial bodily harm that he was charged with could be treated either as a felony, where you could get 1 to 4 years in prison, or it could be treated as a gross misdemeanor. You get 364 to up to 364 days in the Clark County Detention Center. He was asking that it be treated as a felony, the 1 to 4, and he was asking for the maximum sentence under that felony, 19 to 48. It's 19 months to 48 months. Here in Nevada, you get a max and a minimum sentence. So you get the 48 months or the 4 years. The minimum is supposed to be a truth in sentencing to let you know how much you have to serve before you are eligible for parole. And that would be the 19 to 48. The minimum can't exceed 40% of the maximum. So truly the maximum minimum and the maximum in this case was 19 to 48 months.
Mr. Redden, is there anything you want to say on your own behalf before I pronounce that?
So basically, I would like to tell the courts and everyone here, like, based on my criminal history, like, I feel that
That's a fact.
I shouldn't be like sent to prison for a second time.
Have you looked at your criminal history?
Huh?
Have you looked at your criminal history?
I actually just, I looked at it again.
You lived it.
I just looked at it, yeah. And
3 felonies, gross, 9 misdemeanors, multiple DVs. Got a lot going on, sir.
Yeah, I just figured like.
Battery on a protected person, robberies, attempt home invasion. Go ahead, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I just figured like I'm in a better place in my mind, my mental health,
Put a 1 in the chat if you think he lying. I'm in a better place in my mind. What? Put a 1 in the chat if you think he lying. When? When was you in a better place in your mind, bro? Let's go.
I just figure like I'm in a better place in my mind, my mental health. I have a support system. I just got hired as a Teamster for, the union, making $20 an hour. And like that, the reason behind every single domestic violence, I've been dealing with mental health. And I didn't know that I was dealing with mental health. And they put me in mental health court, and I still didn't know that I had a mental health problem until it was August 2022 when I realized I have a problem with this. And like having a dictionary and like understanding myself, getting to know myself a little better, and applying it to my personality, and having an epiphany at that moment in those instances, and just like trying to learn from my mistakes, And I feel like I shouldn't be sent to prison, but if it's appropriate for you, then you have to do what you have to do. But I figure that if I'm in a better place in my life.
Okay, so this is what I'm talking. So this is the sociopathic, psychopathic behavior that I'll be talking about. The antisocial behavior, the cluster, the antisocial, the cluster B personality behavior that I'll be talking about. Is the fact that you can't give me permission. What you can't do is give me permission to punish you. Then I punish you, and then you retaliate with violence. You don't get to do that. And so this is the problem that a lot of people have in their personal situations, is that you allow people in your space that has mentalities like this, where they give you the permission to do, they control. Okay, if you got to leave, then that's cool. But then when you do leave, they follow you. You don't get to do that with me. No, you don't get to do that with your boy. Nah, fam. You don't get to do that. You don't get to tell me how to conduct myself with you when I'm responding to the way you're conducting yourself with me. I'm giving you my experience with you. Okay, Your Honor, I'm in a better space, but if you have to do what you have to do, then that's cool. You're not giving her permission to do nothing, bro. You're not giving her permission to do anything. What makes you think you still have control of the situation? You don't.
I'm not doing drugs. I'm not out there committing crimes now, and I feel like I should be given a shot because I'm in a better place than I was then, so, but I'm a person who never stops trying to do the right thing, no matter how hard it is. And I just, and I'm trying, and I never give up trying to do the right thing. I know I'm not a rebellious person. I don't want to be standing there. I want you to have to, sit up there and waste your time as well, But the criteria of me saying this is that I'm a person that never stops trying to do the right things, even if it's hard. And I did the best I could. I have mental problems.
Thank you.
Judge, as contained in the pre-sentence investigation report, my client was diagnosed with schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. And in speaking with him, it certainly seems that he's following the pattern that this court has seen so many times. So self-medication. And
I've had 2 goes at mental health court.
he did. He does have to honor the discharge from probation. So he can do probation. He can be successful supervised. It is true that he did get this discharge. He was revoked on a gross misdemeanor that he was supervised for just very recently. But he is in a different position now. His foster mother, who is present as a show support, her name is Karen Springer, has provided him a place to live, which is listed on the PSI. His current address is 8 Rose Circle, Apartment 8, North Las Vegas. And she very graciously has allowed him to stay there rent-free until he gets on his feet. Now, he is now part of Union 631 with Teamsters and is hoping to work his way through that program so he can maintain work. He's also reached out.
Up until this point, Your Honor, you have suggested a couple times that you're not buying the argument for probation. Is that fair?
Fair.
Did you just now observe Mr. Redden move his body position a bit?
Yes.
Did you notice that back then?
No.
Shannon West for any job prospects that are available.
You seeing that now?
I am.
Is it common for a judge and her marshal to have a bit of an unspoken language that goes on when you're sentencing people?
Yes.
You work closely with your marshal?
Very.
And those cues that you've given in court, do they have a bit of a purpose?
Yo, this is wild. Hold on 1 second. Let's go back a little bit. Hold on. Let's go back a little bit. Okay. I never noticed that either. We never got that angle where he starts to move in a certain position because he knows he's going to attack her. I think that's what's being presented to us right now. Let's take a look.
He's also reached out.
Up until this point, Your Honor, you have suggested a couple times that you're not buying the argument for probation. Is that fair?
Fair.
Did you just now observe Mr. Redden move his body position a bit?
Yes.
Did you notice that back then?
His current address is 8 Rose Circle, Apartment 8, North Las Vegas. And she very graciously has allowed him to stay there rent-free until he gets on his feet. Now, he is now part of Union 631 with Teamsters and is hoping to work his way through that program so he can maintain work. He's also reached out.
Okay, he's in the ready
Up
position.
until this point, Your Honor, you have suggested a couple times that you're not.
And that's a fact too. That's a fact too. Her body language, Miss 2T's 86, thank you. because her body language, she's like sitting back like this. You know what I'm saying? She like real lackadaisical when it comes to the sentencing. So her body language was giving off like, you know what? He ain't nothing to me. I'm not trying to help him or rehabilitate him, or I'm not trying to do any of that. I just want to get this sentence done and move on, you know, and I don't care about anything. And she kind of like laid back in a way that was like, whatever. So that's fair. That's a fair point to say, man. This is the reason why I don't like judges and I don't like prosecutors. I don't like them. I'm sorry. If you are a judge or a prosecutor and you see this video, I don't like y'all for real. Because y'all have the 11th Amendment, you have absolute immunity. There's nothing about you feel like you don't have to do the actual work to bring a case up that makes sense. You just do whatever. You just do whatever. You compel immunity, you force it. It's called transactional. You give us use, derivative use, you do all kind of stuff to us. And you can do it whenever you want to do it. And you never get chastised for anything that you do. I did a video about prosecutorial misconduct, and the last time a prosecutor was openly rebuked for prosecutorial misconduct on a state or federal level was way back in like 2000, like early 2000s, or like I think even before that. Like they never tell you who is. That's why that Brady list website is important. You never know who's a prosecutor that has the ability to do things improper. You never know who they are until you get in trouble and you see them for yourself. You're like, dog, you the worst prosecutor ever. Like this is a very good point, because fairness is a two-way street. It's fair to say that her demeanor was unbecoming and it lacked any type of empathy, sympathy, or whatever. Despite what he said about getting a job and doing this and doing that, despite all that, she's like, look, your history tells me that you're a problem. However, this mental issue is not being presented in a way that's convincing either. So very interesting point, and I really appreciate you, Ms. Tutis, for this. Thank you so much.
The argument for probation, is that fair?
Fair.
Did you just now observe Mr. Redden move his body position a bit?
Yes.
Did you notice that back then?
No.
Shannon West for a job.
Of course, they're lazy.
You seeing that now?
They don't pay attention to
I
nothing.
am.
Is it common for a judge and her marshal to have a bit of an unspoken language that goes on when you're sentencing people?
Yes.
You work closely with your marshal?
Very.
And those cues that you've given in court, do they have a bit of a purpose?
They do.
What is that?
So he can get ready for a remand.
And a remand means put cuffs on.
Taking somebody out of custody and putting him in custody.
I'm going to resume the video.
Is that what it's for?
Finally, Judge, it's not just his mental health he's been contending with, but he also has a history of IEP in his education. And at 30 years old, he does not have a high school degree. And so we spoke about that as well, and I think it's high time that he did that. I think the court can trust that he is going to perform well on probation. I think he's worth this risk. The court wants to be 1948 suggested by the VA. I've got no issue with that, but this is suspended rather than just sending to prison for a limited time. I think it makes more sense given the circumstances and his ability to do probation successfully that he given this opportunity.
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that we get a taste of something else, because I just can't have that history. In accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada.
Oh!
Before we let that play, Judge, I want you to do your.
Whoa. That escalated fast. That escalated quickly. Let's look at that again.
It makes more sense given the circumstances and his ability to do probation successfully that he given this opportunity.
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that we get a taste of something else, because I just can't have that history. In accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada.
Look at this language. Listen to this language. It's time for us to give him a taste of something else. Like, what's going on for real, man? You know what I'm saying? It's like it's all of those things, all these things matter when it comes to situations like this. It's your tone, it's your word choice, it's your demeanor, it's your body language, it's your intent, it's your emotion. Everything matters when it comes to court. Court is so semantic, it is so detailed, it is nitpicky, it is very, very like needle in a haystack. They're gonna look and dig for everything that they could think of in order to prove their side of the story or the case. And when a judge is up there and they're doing something like sentencing, and you're making it seem like a person's time is not valuable because of their rap sheet, like, this is something that needs to be addressed with judges. You cannot talking as if you don't care about the person is going to make them feel a certain way and trigger them to do certain things. I'm not defending him. Okay, I'm not defending him, but what I'm saying is sometimes you can invite unwanted attention and you don't even realize it, dog. That was unwanted, but at the same time, you was asking for it with your arrogance, with your pompous. This is Glanville. This is Judge Glanville with a gray wig on. Glanville didn't care about Woody. He was like, as a matter of fact, this is like collateral. This is collateral, dog. That's what he said in the transcript. Collateral. So yeah, we got to give him a taste. Whoa. Hey man, you playing with people's lives, dog. You playing with people's lives, man. You got to check that.
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that you get a taste of something else because I just can't that straight. In accordance with the laws of the state of
Before we let that play, Judge, I want you to do your best to walk us through what happens next from your end.
I remember him coming at me and really didn't think that he would ever make contact. And then I just remember it was like a crash sound. I just remember smashing into the wall. I went down, my glasses went up. I smashed into the wall. He was on me. And then I was being pulled down. I was being hit and I don't know where and by what. I had closed my eyes. I was trying to protect my face and my head. He had me by the hair and I was still getting hit in the head. In the meantime, I saw my law clerk who was sitting next to me who had dove.
FFS want me to replay it, we're gonna replay it. Let's do it. Cause this escalated so fast. Yeah, see, now seeing this is making it a little bit more believable. Miss 2T's 86 says, Tay, his lawyer was right. He needs to be medicated. If you look at all of his charges, they are all assaults. That's facts. That is true. He cannot manage his emotions. That is true. She triggered that. That is true. I'm almost certain every other listen, I can understand. I'm like abundance. I can see both sides. I see both sides in this now. I mean, we was making fun of I know I was making fun of for sure. Because he came in with the lean, with the slide glasses, you feel me? But the more and more, this is the reason why I wanted to listen to her testimony, because she was never paying attention to him. All she cared about was what was in front of her on paper. She didn't care nothing about him. And now she paid the consequence for it. So I got you, FFS. I'm gonna replay it. Savvy Amira said, I came back here while walking the dogs, and all I heard was, this is Glanville with a gray wig. This is Judge Glanville with a gray wig, dog. She don't care about nothing, dog. That's thanks, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Let's go. Let's look at this again, man. Let's go.
It's to assess the circumstances and his ability to do probation successfully when you give this opportunity.
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that you get a taste of something else because I just can't with that history. In accordance with the laws of state and
Before we let that play, Judge, I want you to do your best to walk us through what happens next from your end.
I remember him coming at me and really didn't think that he would ever make contact. And then I just remember it was.
This is exactly, listen, where are the deputies, dog? Like the guy who was helping her was a law clerk. He was a law clerk. He wasn't a deputy. He was a law clerk. I'm actually rewinding right now. That's why you see it buffering.
And so we spoke about that.
Okay, right in this area, like any deputy, like is there any type of deputy anything here? No, there's nothing here.
As well, and I think it's high time that he did that. I think the court can trust that he is going to perform well on probation. I think he's worth this risk.
Like seriously, this is like where? Like, how did he clean that? How did he clear that like that? That's crazy.
Circumstances and his ability to do probation successfully when you give this opportunity.
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that you get a taste of something else because
there it is. There it is. Whatever. It's time to get a taste of something else. So whatever the prosecution was saying, he was saying she's like, no, we're gonna do something a little bit more egregious. So what we're trying to do right now is be objective to this, because it's easy to say, oh, you cleared the bench and you triggered this you cleared the bench and you attacked this judge, automatic jail sentence. But then the defense says something about medical illness or mental illness, and we found out that he legit has medical or mental illness history that triggers certain things. And even though he presented himself calm, now at the same time, something triggered an emotion that he can't control. Now, again, we're talking about court. All right. Let me make it clear. We're talking about court. In the street, I don't care about none of that, John, bro. Like, I don't care about none of that. You need to control yourself, dog. I don't care about none of that. But when you talk about court, you got to be precise and detailed, and you got to over communicate. You got to over communicate, bro. You feel me? Like it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, I know it's sad. I know it's sad. It is, but it's absolutely insane.
I just can't.
Exactly.
According to the laws of state and
Before we let that play, Judge, I want you to do your best to walk us through what happens next from your end.
I remember him coming at me and really didn't think that he would ever make contact. And then I just remember it was like a crash sound. I just remember smashing into the wall. I went down, my glasses went up. I smashed into the wall. He was on me, and then I was being pulled down. I was being hit, and I don't know where and by what. I had closed my eyes. I was trying to protect my face and my head. He had me by the hair.
Yeah, he did.
And I was still getting hit in the head.
Yep. You were.
Meantime, I saw my law clerk who was sitting next to me, who had dove almost in front of me as Mr. Redden came at me. And he was on top trying to pry the defendant off me. By this point, I had pulled down. I was kind of laying down like in the back of the bench. I had gone my head from this side to this side. And I just remember saying, help, help, somebody get him off. I mean, in my head, I was completely defenseless. He was so determined and so violent and so, it was scary. I didn't think I was going to get out of there.
Oh, here come the crocodiles. Where was those crocodiles when you said, you know what, he need to get a taste of his own? see, I'm telling you, man, they pick and choose when to put empathy. Look at this face. Look at this face. Now, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a legit question. If you was in front of this judge, would you believe this face that she's making? Would you think that she really means what she says? I want to know. Put a 1 in the chat if you would believe her. Put a 1 in the chat if this face right here would convince you that she cares. Please put a 1 in the chat. If not, put a 2 in the chat if you like, nah, she full of it right here. In this moment right here. In this moment right here, okay? This moment right here. Remember, she's in front of a jury. She's in front of a jury. And this right here could be what? Motivation, influence for a jury to be like, oh my God, you know what? She didn't deserve that. They would forget about the fact that she was very, very highly entertained at his response to the fact that he didn't want to go to prison. She had a proclivity to enjoy saying, you know what? He need to get a taste of his own medicine. He need to give a taste of his own. He need to get a taste. Yeah, we need to do something else about him because he need to get a taste. He don't believe fat meat greasy. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I want you to really look at, see, we're talking about court. Don't think about it in the street. Don't think about it in our everyday life, because we know the real. I don't care how much medication you want. Don't, you know what I'm saying? We get that. But I'm going to go back. Okay? I'm going to go back a little bit. She's going to start explaining. This is the reason why I wanted to review this. She's going to start talking about her experience with it. Okay. She's going to talk about her experience with it, and then she's going to build up into this emotion, into this, like, oh my God, I thought he was going to go there. Okay. And his defense attorney was like, well, I'll tell you right now, that woman lying with that gray wig on. She lying, but we gonna get on cross. You know what I'm saying? All right, listen. Okay, here we go. We're gonna play this. I want you don't y'all start. I want you to look at the detail of her. This is her testimony. This is her time to shine. Because again, it's weak. The defense angle is kind of weak. It's a little weak, but now that we digging into her testimony, it's starting to reveal itself. Let's get it. I'm gonna play it again. All right, let's get it.
Before you made a suggestion by the DA, I've got no issue with that, but to suspend it rather than just sending to prison for any length of time. I think it makes more sense given the circumstances and his ability to do probation successfully when you give this opportunity.
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that you get a taste of something else, because I just can't get that straight.
Right there. Look at her. I know she's full of it. Hey, Savvy said your BS meter is sharp. Listen, you listen to me, okay? Your boy done been through some stuff hey, all right? Look at this. Look at this judge, man. Look at her demeanor when it comes to this particular young man.
I've got no issue with that, but suspended rather than just sending to prison for any other time. I think it makes more sense given the circumstances and his ability to do probation successfully when he's given this opportunity.
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that he gets a taste of something else because
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that he get a taste of something else.
I just can't have that straight. In accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada.
Uh-oh.
Before we let that play, Judge, I want you to do your best to walk us through what happened.
Here comes the actor, the actress. Here we go.
I remember her
body language right there. Her eyes went towards the right and up. Her eyes was right and up. Look at this. Look at this real quick. Look at this real quick. You see that? She's trying to find the words. She's looking at nothing. Okay? Up and right.
I remember.
You remember what? You don't care nothing about this guy.
I remember him coming at me and really didn't think that he would ever make contact. And then I just remember it was like a crash.
Didn't I tell you she didn't think he was going to clear it? She literally just confirmed what I said. What did I tell you? I told you that she did not think that he was going to clear that bench. I told you this. If I tell you grass turned to cheese, you better start hustling crackers, okay? I told you. This woman did not think he was going to clear the bench. She just said, I didn't think he was going to contact me. Obviously, she don't know a lot of black athletes. Because that boy went LeBron James on that bench, okay? I told you. She didn't think he was going to clear it. Oh, no, here we go.
Really didn't think that he would ever make contact. And then I just remember it was like a crash sound. I just remember smashing into the wall. I went down, my glasses went up. I smashed into the wall.
Mm-hmm.
He was on me. And then I was being pulled down. I was being hit, and I don't know where and by what. I had closed my eyes. I was trying to protect my face and my head. He had me by the hair, and I was still getting hit in the head. In the meantime, I saw my law clerk who was sitting next to me.
Oh, really?
Who had dove almost in front of me as Mr. Redden came at me. And he was on top trying to pry the defendant off me. By this point, I had pulled down. I was kind of laying down like in the back of the bench. I had gone.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
To this side. And I just remember saying, help, help, somebody get him off. I mean, in my head, I was completely defenseless. He was so determined and so violent and so. It was scary. I didn't think I was going to get out of there.
You didn't really? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I didn't think I was going to get out of there. In my own courtroom. After I pretty much just made fun of the fact that I'm going to put him in jail. Miss me.
I'll give you a moment. I want to play a little more video. Back up a little bit.
No tears. Not a drop of water coming out them damn ducks. Okay, not one tear. Now Unc is starting to be a little bit more legit. At first, Unc was throwing me off, right? Now I understand where all coming from. I think I got it. I think I get it. I think I got it. Yo, dog. Yo, this lady right here, boy. Let me tell you something. Woo. And the Academy Award goes to. Hey, why are you watching it like that? What? Why are you watching it like that, bro? Oh my God, man. Oh my God, dog. Why is he watching it like that, dog? He like that's some of my best work right there. That's some of my best work, dog. Oh Jesus. Okay, man. I'm gonna let this play, man. We got more time. I'm gonna let this play. Oh my God. We gotta do this whole thing. Jeez, oh Pete. Oh my God. He is admired by himself.
Don't do this. Please. Is she okay? Hey, radio somebody? Radio somebody.
Can you do your best to describe the level of force he used when you were under the bench and we can't see in the video?
The level of force he used the entire time was superhuman. I don't know. From the time he came through the air and smashed into me, he knocked me literally almost through the wall, out of my chair. He knocked me so hard, he knocked me out of my shoes. You know, when you see a car accident and people get hit so hard by a car, their shoes come off. I mean, that's how hard he hit me. And when I was down there, it didn't get less.
We saw there a couple of individuals jump in, one of them being your law clerk.
Yes.
While, if you remember, if you know, while your law clerk was trying to save you, was Mr. Redden stopped?
He was not.
Can you describe that? What was going on physically?
Only by feel. Because
do your best.
I was down in the ground and I could just feel someone going at me who was Mr. Redden, because that's where he was. And I could feel someone trying to pull him off and leave her alone. And you know, this like they're fighting over me. I mean, Michael's trying to pull him off and he's not letting go.
Do you know, based on memory, where his hands were?
I do not.
Do you remember being struck or hitting your head while you were down behind the bench there?
Yes.
Do you remember what struck you?
I do not.
Do you remember what side of your head it was?
Left at that point.
Did Mr. Redden continue to attack you while Mr. Lasso was holding you?
He did.
At some point, Mr. Lasso and the others.
He said, what? He said, he said.
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
You see his face expression? You see his face expression? This man was not trying to hear that, dog. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Did Mr. Redden continue to attack you while Mr. Lasso was holding you?
He did.
At some point, Mr. Lasso and the others are successful in getting him physically off you. So, right?
3 or 4 of them it took to get him off me.
Where did you go, or what did you do once they were able to?
As soon as I was clear enough, I literally rolled onto my bench in fetal position.
I would presume that this was extremely traumatic for you, but I have to ask, do you know if you went unconscious during the attack?
Look at this fake face, dog. I'm seeing right through all of this. These eyeballs are full of backed up tears that belong to other people that she just stored up for this day. That's all I'm looking at. This is not right. This is crazy.
I don't know.
Of course you don't.
What is the next thing you remember after rolling into the fetal position under the bench?
I remember thinking, why is it taking so long? I mean, there was chaos in the courtroom. There was screaming, the alarms were going off, and there was still a struggle. Again, I couldn't see it. Partly my eyes were closed, and partly it was out of my sight. And so I was just laying there and waiting. And then the next thing I remember is Jory coming up. Is she okay? And Michael came up earlier, Michael Lassell, my law clerk, and kind of stood by me, kind of, are you okay? And also, at least the feeling I got was that he was the buffer in case they lost control of the defendant again, because he was still very close.
While the attack was actually going on, what was going through your head?
I'm not going to get out of here. And it's a weird thing, because I know that there's video, and there's a part of me going, I'll be dead, but I have 3 kids. They're going to watch, and that's what they're going to see. That's what was making me so mad. Not what he was doing to me, but what he would do to my family.
I'm sorry, I need to rewind because the BS was overpowering this frequency. The malarkey was overpowering the actual stream. I got 3 kids. Okay. What was she wiping? Her mascara? I don't know what's going on with this lady. This lady is such a bad actress. I can't even deal.
There's video, and there's a part of me going, I'll be dead, but I have 3 kids.
I'll be
They're
right
going to
back,
watch, and that's what they're going to see. That's what was making me so mad. Not what he was doing to me, but what he would do to my family.
What? You was thinking about your kids while he was trying to pull your hair out, and he was you thinking about your family while Bobby Boucher jumped over the bench in a saber-toothed tiger leap. You're thinking about how you're going to look in front of your kids, in front of your babies, in front of your kids. Really? I don't think. Hey, do y'all believe this? Are you all believing her now? Because I'm starting not to. I'm just not even starting. I just don't. I just do not believe that. Dude, this is crazy. Let's go, dog. I'll be right back, y'all.
So alarms are going off, lots of physical chaos going on. Did you look around? Eventually were you able to get up and look around the courtroom?
Yeah.
What do you recall seeing?
Well, behind the bench, there was blood everywhere.
Where did that come from, if you know?
Shane, my marshal.
Did you look at Shane?
I did.
What did you see?
Shane, his forehead was literally sliced open, and the skin had been just flapping as he was trying to protect me, even though he was hurt, but he was getting blood all over the bench. There was clumps of my hair on the floor. The calendar papers were all covered in blood.
Eventually is what I'll call the scene. Is it all secured and Mr. Redden taken away?
Yes.
I'm gonna resume the video here for a moment. Let me turn that down just a little bit.
Oh.
Hey, this is Mary Kay.
Sorry for the noise. That's the video. Hold on, was he saying Allahu Akbar? What was going on here? Hold on. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. What's going on?
Hey, you come here, I'll take care of it. That's my guy. Come around. You hold it. That's my guy.
Wow.
That's my guy right there. Yo, Joey, is medical coming? Yeah, medical. Yeah, we need medical. Judge, you okay? He's fucking ass out of here. Hold it.
Y'all late. Did he say Allahu Akbar? What y'all go?
Judge, did you see yourself finally getting up there?
I did.
I believe previously you said you don't know if you went unconscious or not.
Correct.
Do you remember getting up and trying to walk where there's no exit?
You were under the bench the whole time. What are you talking about? Wasn't no blood at all. You was under the bench the whole time. You don't know what was going on.
Well, I remember because I've seen the video. I mean,
you saw the video, but you don't know. You don't have
any
firsthand
recollection of
knowledge.
trying to get out of the courtroom by going over the other side of the bench?
No.
Get her head, bro. Get her head. She has hard.
What are you looking for?
A shoe.
She was looking for a shoe, dog. Hey, hold on. Hey, no, I'm sorry. I ain't supposed to be laughing. She got up discombobulated, and she was looking for a shoe. You know what? You know how that remind me of? You remember you in your friends with benefit days, right? And then you was messing with somebody, and that person you was messing with, they still had somebody that was messing with them, and you was trying to be a side thing or whatever. And then you wake up, you're in the middle of the night, and they come knocking on the door. They come knocking on the door, right? And they're like, "Oh, you gotta leave, you gotta go." You're like, "What you look?" You start looking for your shoe. You start looking just like she did. You start looking just like she did. She was looking for her shoe, bro. I'm sorry. She was looking for her shoe. She was looking. She got up with a headache, and she was like, "I'm looking for my shoe." Look at it, dog. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people gonna leave and go somewhere else, but I'm sorry. That is hilarious. And then my man was like, "What was you looking for? What were you looking for?" Some of y'all was looking for your drawers. You know what I'm saying? In the middle at somebody else's house where you shouldn't have been. Okay. Same difference. Same difference. All right.
What are you looking for?
A shoe.
That damn shoe, man. Oh my goodness.
Once you are cleared from the courtroom, can I presume that there was an investigation that ensued?
Yes.
Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department detectives come down and document the scene.
I don't know who documented the scene. By then we were in the back. AMR came and medical was clearing everybody and taking Shane out and stuff.
Eventually, you give a recorded statement like any witness to a crime or victim of a crime.
I did.
And can you describe for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury the injuries you sustained, if any?
Obviously, I hit my head. I did my family didn't want me driving, so my daughter drove me home, and then they insisted that I go to the hospital and get a scan to make sure I woke up in the morning because it looked pretty scary. The scan was okay, but obviously I had a headache for a few days. The spots where he pulled out my hair, you know how when you get your hair pulled out, it's sore for a while. That was sore for a few days. My arm, my back, everything was stiff, like, you know, you get jostled around. The next day, the worst part for me the next day was my neck. I don't know what it was. I don't know. All I know is I literally during the day was holding my head up like with two hands because my neck was so sore and so tired. It just hurt. My tailbone, that hurt for weeks. If you ever bruise your tailbone, that just doesn't go away right away. And I was walking older than my age for a while. I couldn't get back on the treadmill for 2 or 3 weeks. And when I say back on the treadmill, I walk on it. It's nothing. But I couldn't even walk on the treadmill for a couple of weeks. And then it was several months before I could lay on my left arm. I couldn't sleep on it. That was.
What type of injury did you have on your left arm?
That's what took, I think, the bulk of the initial hit. Again, I don't know what it was that hit me there, but I still have, it's been how long now? And there's a round, it's not horribly disfiguring, but it's a definite, you can still see a round, raised, bruised, fleshy, something not like the rest of it, marking where he made contact with me that day. But it took me months before I could sleep on my left side again.
In the days following the attack, were you photographed, and did you also, you and your family members, take photos of your injuries as they progressed?
We did.
Were there several times in the following days where you lost large clumps of hair?
Yes.
I have to ask for the record, ma'am, how old are you?
63 now.
And you would have been 62 at the time of the incident?
I was.
All right, thank you very much. I'll pass it over to Judge.
Okay, cross.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
We get cross. Yo, we get cross. Shout out to Cross. We about to get cross. Yo, I love cross-examination. Love cross-examination. Let's get it. Let's go. Hey, let's go. Let's get it.
Your Honor, isn't it true that you didn't have any bruises as a result of this attack?
No.
And
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. What was your answer?
No.
And isn't it true, Your Honor, that you didn't suffer any bleeding as a result of this attack?
That's true.
And isn't it true that you had no broken bones as a result of this attack?
That's also true.
And in regards to your neck, you didn't have any bruising on your neck. Isn't that true?
True.
Isn't it true that you didn't know how many times, if any, that Mr. Redden hit you with a fist?
True.
In fact, you don't know for sure if Mr. Redden hit you with a fist or if you were kneed or anything like that.
True. After the obvious initial.
Correct. And let's make that clear for the record. So when you say after the obvious initial, I'm not talking about the leap, but when you're actually on the floor, you don't know if you were being struck by Mr. Redden with his feet, his fists, or anything like that.
Correct. Just that I'm being hit.
Just that you were being hit. And were you covered up? Was your face covered up at the time?
I'm going to assume so. I mean,
prior to him jumping over the bench, you didn't see him with anything in his hand?
No.
And you didn't see during the attack him having anything in his hand?
No.
You know, you're asking it in the negative, the last two questions, Mr. Arnold, and I'm afraid that it'll come across in the transcript as a double negative. Could you re-ask those questions? I just want to make sure you're getting the meaning that you want.
Yes, Your Honor. So isn't it true that you didn't see anything in his hand?
Yes.
And isn't it true that during the attack, when you're on the floor, you didn't see anything in his hand that he was attacking you with?
Also true.
I'm going to shift gears here and talk about the PSI. In regards to the PSI, you reviewed it.
I did.
And did you, was there a section that you recall in regards to his mental illness?
Yes.
And you were aware that he had suffered from, he had a previous mental illness history, is that correct?
Correct.
And do you recall, was it paranoia and schizophrenia?
I remember schizophrenia. I don't remember what else.
Did you have any concerns going into the actual sentencing hearing about his competency?
No.
Did you make any inquiries to Mr. Amalsi, his defense attorney, in regards to his competency prior to proceeding with sentencing?
I did not. If I recall, the mental health history was fairly long ago about his diagnosis of schizophrenia, and that he had gotten some treatment and that he was not on medication. He had graduated from mental health court, and according to him, he didn't feel like his mental health was causing him any issues. That was kind of the summary of the mental health issues as I understood them from his PSI.
Right.
And then coupling that, normally it would be, the defense attorney would be the one to bring it to my attention that there's a competency issue if it wasn't obvious.
Right.
And then
she's admitting the fact, there you go, thank you, Savvy. She's admitting the fact that she knew about this Miss Two T's, I'm sorry. She knew about his mental state. She knew about it. She knew about it. So as a judge, a person who opposed the law, unbiased, shouldn't you be careful with how you approach a person's when they are in a mental state? See, all of this, listen, when you in court, all of this can come up and you like, wow. You see what I'm saying? In the hood, we like, man, you better go on with that crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like, we do that. But in the court of law, man, it's a different story. Let's go.
that coupled with his appearance in court didn't give me any cause for pause.
Did you note, or was it brought to your attention through your review of the PSI, that on your case, prior to it proceeding to district court, that he was found to be incompetent?
I don't recall he was found to be incompetent. I recall he was referred to competency court, but I don't recall the findings.
Okay. And do you know, after he was referred to competency court, how long did the case languish prior to you receiving a guilty plea in the case?
I don't know.
And again, you weren't aware or made aware by anyone that he was supposed to be on medication at the time of his sentencing?
It was not.
I wasn't concerned.
Just check my notes.
This judge reminds me of someone I know. Is it a Whitaker? Well, y'all just, I mean, hey, Miss Love, hey, just, hey, and if y'all wanna, every time she lies, she drinks water. Exactly. That lie mouth is too dry. She got the dry lie mouth. Man, look, this is insane. This has taken a turn. Just off this testimony alone, this whole case has taken a real turn. Cheers, everybody.
Was he saying anything to you that you recall when he was on top of you?
I don't recall.
Do you recall if you heard any statements that he said that he was trying to kill you?
I don't recall.
Do you recall anything that was being said to you by Mr. Redden?
I do not. It was literally chaos.
Too busy getting slapped upside the head.
And again, all the blows that you said that you felt to your head, you don't know who gave those blows, number one. Is that correct?
I mean,
you're assuming that it was Mr.
Michael Jury and Richard literally were pulling him off me, saving my life.
Okay.
But for them, I'm not here. But no, I guess theoretically, my law clerk could have punched me in the head.
Well, You said that you experienced blows to your head. Is that correct? And so again, there was a huge scuffle and they're trying to get him off of you.
True.
And so you don't know what part of anyone's body that actually landed on your head that could have caused the injury.
Eventually, but initially he was the only one near there.
Right.
Could have, yes.
But you
And
don't know.
Do you recall also that
Yes, you
when
lying.
gave your voluntary statement that you stated that you were only struck in the head once?
I don't recall. If I said that, I do.
Okay. And
I don't think I've ever said there was the initial and then there was a second.
okay, I'm going to approach Ms. Pierce. May I approach to refresh your recollection?
Sure. Did it again. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Just where I have it highlighted.
We have started?
Yeah, just read in between that.
You want me to read it to you?
No, just read it and refresh your recollection. You know the drill. Then I'll ask questions.
Can I keep that?
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
And so based upon your review of the voluntary statement, do you recall how you were hit?
Same thing. I don't know if it was head or elbow, head, hand. Yes.
Okay.
I don't know.
And you don't
I was
know,
hit, but I don't know with what.
right? And you don't know how many times you were
I
hit?
don't.
Okay. That's all the questions I have.
Redirect.
I'll be brief, Judge. You gave a voluntary statement to police that was recorded, right?
Yes.
Subsequent to that, you testified at a prior court proceeding.
Yes.
And throughout that, you've been consistent that you don't remember how many times you were hit.
Yes.
In fact, as you sit here today, you can't tell the jury if you were knocked out.
No.
Mr. Arnold,
I think you might have a double negative as well. Could you re-ask that question?
do you know if you were knocked out?
No. I mean,
May I approach?
Yes.
There was a question or a line of questioning about whether you sustained bruising. Do you remember that line of questioning?
Yes.
Showing you now, it's 27, 28,
At least this
29,
judge don't allow double
30,
negatives.
31, 32, and 33. Are those documentation of your bruising
Yes.
after the incident? And these will be available to the jury. These are already admitted, Judge, so these will be available to the jury. I'm not going to put them up on the record. When you described this attack initially, I asked you about the level of force that was used. And I want you to do your best to describe the level of force used and why it is you don't remember how many times you were hit.
I was hit so hard between the defendant's body and behind my bench. It's a marble wall. And so, like I said, I was hit so hard that I literally smashed into it. And then I was at best dazed, and I was pulled down behind me, and he continued going after me so forcefully and so violently that literally 3 or 4 healthy, strong young men couldn't get him off of me. It was so strong. They saved my life. I tell them that all the time. You guys saved my life.
As that was happening, do you recall a hand on your neck?
I remember being held. No, not clearly. No.
Fair enough. You're doing your best to recall the events as you remember. Is that right?
Yes.
Thank you.
I do know I lost hair, a lot of hair from that side.
Thank you.
Can you recross?
Yes, just real quick. And Your Honor, in regards to the bruising, the pictures that you were just shown, those were pictures in regards to bruising on your shoulder, your arms, and your legs and tailbone. Is that correct?
Well, you don't have a picture of my tailbone, but
Your back area.
my lower half, my
Right.
shoulder, and my upper arm. Yeah.
Okay. And there was no bruising to the face, and there was no bruising to your neck. You have to say,
There was no bruising, and she's saying no.
but we have to get it verbally, and I'll start it over again.
There was no bruising to my neck
There was no bruising
that I'm aware of. Yeah.
to your neck, and there was no bruising to your face.
No.
That's correct?
That's correct. Sorry.
Okay.
That's all right.
All
I
right.
just want to make sure the transcript reads the way that you guys want it to read, that's all.
Right. All right. No further questions. Thank you.
Okay, you may step down,
Thanks.
thank you.
That was the judge's full testimony of Mr. Redden's attack on her. All right. That's what it was. What's y'all thoughts, man? What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on that? Man. So again, it seemed like the whole defense talking about the mental illness and things of that nature. It went from being a weak point to actually being a strong point, in the sense of the fact that this judge knew that there was a mental issue with this particular person. The fact is that she did not care about this person. You see what I'm saying? And so this is where it gets interesting. Let me see something. I might have a little bit something for us, man. Hold on one second. I might have something for us real quick. Hold on. I'm trying to think of something. I'm trying to figure it out. Let's see here. They don't have it on replay? Dang. I was trying to get the Thugger Daily was on the Black law students X conversation today. And so I was trying to see if they could do a replay. Seems like the host ended it. And we won't be able to get to it. Let me see something. Let me try to copy the link. Let's just go to it real quick. Nope, they're not gonna let us get it. Dang. Man, I was trying to get to it. It's all good. It's all good. What do you all think about this? See the Lion Love recap. Yep. It just have a bunch of people in there. Doesn't mean nothing. They're not going to replay it. Normally they do. Normally he does, man, but they're not replaying it today. It's all love. It's all good. Anyway, so what do you all think about this this whole case, man? Again, this guy right here was on 10 that day, but then come to find out he did not take his medication. He did not do what he was supposed to do in that sense, or he did not take the medicine that he was supposed to take in a 2-month span from November the 1st until the day of the sentencing, and then he got triggered. And then I'm trying to figure out how come the defense on cross, how come they did not mention the body language of the judge, the way the judge was thinking, the way the judge was doing their thing, the body language is very important. The way the judge was feeling that day is very important, so when you're talking about something like this, like wouldn't it be important to like mention those things in a cross? I definitely would have, for sure, but it did not work that way. So I don't know. But what you all think about this, man? I think the judge was disingenuous on her testimony when it came to the cross, but and actually to the state. The state played on the heartstrings a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And all that jazz. So that's kind of like how it went. But I thought this was very, very interesting to talk about today. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that of course, he's already pled to be guilty and everything of that nature, but trying to say that he intended to unalive was the stretch that the defense was trying to come against. And so with that being said, they were able to, be successful, I think, in coming against that. So definitely wanted to talk about this tonight. I'm pretty sure that it's Friday. It's 9:41 p.m. Man, I'm pretty sure everybody about to chill and relax. But I want to say thank you to everyone that tuned in today. It seemed like this is going to be a very good weekend, a weekend of chill and relax. Shout out to Savvy for just showing the love, no comment, no question, just the pure love of the game. Same thing with Flesh of the Gods. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate your generosity. Make sure y'all subscribe to Flesh of the Gods. He's dope. Cat Now Williams gifted 5 Tay-Biz TV memberships, man. So all of you all that became members, I believe Flesh of the Gods became one of them as well. So you all got free reign with your boy, man. I think I might go live tomorrow. Like mid-afternoon type of situation. I have something very interesting I wanted to on a Saturday. I just want to like do a little coffee conversation type situation and see what's going on with it. You know what I'm saying? It's a very, very interesting topic I want to talk about. I just want to go ahead and just cast my reel out there and see what's going on in the minds of those of Biz Nation, man. I want to know how you all think. I want to know how you all interact and all that good stuff, man. So, I appreciate that for sure. Let's go to the comments real quick. It was a lot going on. I didn't get a chance to look at everybody's comment. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see here what's going on. Yeah, a lot of y'all in the comments was like, yo, she had it coming a little bit with the way she was acting. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the way she was coming, man, at my man's. It was like, oh, you think you don't think that my life and my time means anything. Well, I'm about to show you that it does. And that's the reason why he leaped over that boy. You know what I'm saying? Abundance is saying good night to the mods. Definitely appreciate you, Abundance, man, for all that you do. Definitely appreciate it as well. Let's see here what's going on. Appreciate you, Savvy. Said we appreciate you so much, Tay-Biz TV. Thank you so much for the love and the comment. I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much. Chill says, thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. Absolutely. I appreciate it. Same sentiments here. I appreciate it so much. I appreciate those that have given, those that like the channel, like the stream, and subscribe to the channel. But I do have some things that I want to discuss probably tomorrow, sometime this weekend. I say it that way. I don't want to promise anything, but I definitely have some things that I want to definitely unpack and discuss, things of that nature. So tune in this weekend, man. Your boy might come through with some more heat. All right. Abundance says, thank you for your commentary. Always, I appreciate it, man. It's always good to have a good time. You know what I'm saying? It's always good to have a good time, man. In the meantime, your boy Tay-Biz, man. If you don't know who I am an IT professional, but I love to do this, man. I love to comment. I love to talk. I love to do that a little bit. But what's so funny about me is like when I get on here, I can talk. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no problem like doing this. But then when I'm off of here, like I be chilling, man. I like like sometimes I don't say anything almost. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of funny how this goes. But in the meantime, in between time, I want you to do me one favor. I just want you to love each other, man. Love yourself first. Love each other, man. Love your family and love even your enemies. You know what I'm saying? Because all they doing is help you to become better. You need dirt to grow. Take care of yourself and each other. I'm your boy, Tay Biz. I'll holler at you. Peace.
No stress, no biggie. Baby, I'm just too jiggy. Better know I brought that with me. Case they get too iffy. Baby, don't stress, don't sweat it. Put it all on my daddy. Know how I'm coming. And they know what we hate. Run around through that left side, low end. All of mine need more wins. If you got beef, don't come out. Cause my young hitter might go in. Uptown GN. Working all through my weekend. Hoping these don't show out. Cause all of my hitters too deep in. With a boy, I'm so seen. Ain't worried about long as my money and my green. Baby, I ain't got work tomorrow. Tell me what the business is. Ain't about no club hop. I'm trying to start some businesses. Shorty, you thought it was, they better know it's not that. Talking all that online, they knowing that it's not fake. Sliding through my hood, I make maneuvers like a Uber, baby. Got a 10-year plan, these can't tell what they doing lately. And I'm way too clean, I'm Listerine, I thought they been knew it. All in my lungs, I got my red cup full of that Hen fluid. Young middle Mad Mac, I'm swinging that leg, I'm banging that do or die. And I ain't that Lily before I get crucified. Living in my bloodline, this place in my family tree. How the they pressed, I did my best out of what they handed me. Straight out of that country, know my shawty dick as human air. And I need not mention no extensions, that's human hair. Boy, we grew in there. Around through that left side, low end. All of mine need more wins. If you got beef, don't come out. Cause my young hitter might go in. Uptown GN. Working all through my weekend. Hoping these don't show out. Cause all of my hitters too deep in. Tell them no stress, no biggie. Baby, I'm just too jiggy. Better know I brought that with me. Case they get too iffy. Baby, don't stress, don't sweat it. Put it all on my daddy. Know how I'm coming. And they know what we had. Be that left side, low end. That left side, low end. That left side, low end. That left side, low end.
We were living in some projects, and they were new projects.
Yeah.
They had hot and cold running water.